The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PSP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes to comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party. The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PSP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes to comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to our supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone on television land. Happy Tuesday to our supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much as usual for tuning in. Remember, as you come in, hit the like button, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. And guys, remember that it's still active. Okay, so I'll get back to that. So thumbs up the live when you come and share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Tonight's topic is the Pendulum Swings with your host Byron and Marie Pastor Ruthie. Mr. Rattigan will not be with us tonight. He's not feeling well, so we pray that he feels better soon and God give him the strength so that we can get going again. Tonight I'm also going to pin the link to the petition. We need you guys to sign the petition for the Magnitsky Act. And I was told by Mr. Rattigan that we do not donate to that site. If you're going to donate, then it's the one Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. Right. It says the audio is horrible. Okay.
The audio is muffled.
Can't hear you, Anne-Marie.
It's muffled.
One sec, guys.
How is the audio now?
Great.
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
it jumped the mic. Sorry about that. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm gonna pin the link to the petition for the Magnitsky Act for persons to sign to show their support. And Mr. Rattigan was saying, do not donate to that site. Just sign the petition and you can share it. If you want to donate, then it's to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation that you're gonna donate to. So I will pin the link. So you guys can just click on it, go over there for those who have not done that yet, and show your and sign the petition. Also, I want to say condolences to Jeffrey Tavares. His father has passed, and we want to pray in God's strength and for himself and his family, and wish him well in this time of mourning, and I hope that his father rest in peace. All right, so the chat is very long tonight, so I am not going to really go ahead and welcome everybody individually. I'm just going to say bless up to all the moderators and bless up to each and every one. Let me just, Patel Yard Sale Barbecue, remember it's coming up on April 25th in Yala St. Thomas. And there's a number to call so you can show your support, 876-441-2284. So make sure you support Patel Yard Style Barbecue. Pastor Ricky, I'm just going to ask you to lead us off in a word of prayer, if you don't mind, before I hand over to God.
Yeah, thank you, Lady Anne-Marie. God bless you. Sir Byron, God bless you. Everyone in the chat, God bless you. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this beautiful day that you have made, a day we have never seen before. We thank you that God is in control, and we serve a God who has never lost control. As we come tonight, we come in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and we present this program into your hand once again. Lead, guide, navigate, instruct, direct. Bless Lady Anne-Marie as she navigates through the different clips and documents, as she maneuver the mouse, as she pay attention to the chat, as she interacts. I pray, mighty God, that you will continue to give her the wisdom, the understanding as she proceeds tonight. Bless Sir Byron as he exegetes and explain the different documents and videos and clips. And we just pray that you'll guide his thoughts and his thinking, that everything will be done in decent and in order. We bind distractions. We bind every attack of the enemy. Satan, you're defeated. You have no place being in this space. In the mighty name of Jesus, this is a holy place, a righteous place, and a godly place. Bless everyone in the chat. Bless their families, their spouses, their children. Continue to provide for everyone. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. You're muted.
Wonderful, Pastor Ricky. Big thanks to you in terms of guiding us, amen, right, through a word of prayer, which is very much needed, amen, right? Of course, we are the instrument of God, and we are amen, working accordingly. Now, let me say this to all my brothers and sisters, to all my Jamaican families. At current, we are going through a storm. But let me tell you, my Jamaican brothers and sisters, after a storm, there must be a calm. Amen. And tonight's subject matter, we are going to gear it towards persons who either sits on the fence or in essence, right, undecided. Some of the information that I will be releasing tonight is critical in terms of all those uncommitted voters making up their mind to put the X beside the N, right, and vote for the People's National Party as it relates to good governance and nation building. No doubt about that. Now we have some very serious information that we are going to divulge tonight. Remember last week, I said we are going to go into the closet of Kenneth Benjamin. Yes, we are going to do that, right? We are going to expose, right, some serious corruption. We'll be delved into other corruption as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, right, and prove to the world that the Jamaica Labour Party is indeed, right, corrupted, right, and indeed majority of the members of parliament within the Jamaica Labour Party administration, right, found themselves wanting as it relates to criminality, corruption, and all sorts of evil. So tonight, indeed, we are going to definitely put out that. Now, just imagine Jamaica, that we have $3 trillion unaccounted for, and we are going to show you the reasons as it relates to why the $3 trillion being accounted for. As it relates to this government, the level of nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery, and recent happenings that this government is telling the Jamaican people that in spite of we talking about it, in spite of the Integrity Commission investigators investigating about it, in spite of concerned citizens concerned about it, the Jamaica Labour Party decided that they are adamant in furtherance of their corruption and their evil. Now, I'm going to play a clip on Jamaica, particularly for those who are undecided. I want you to listen keenly to what the Prime Minister, right, is going to say. And I am going to tonight definitely zero in on the procurement process and to show Jamaican people clearly what this Andrew Holness-led administration is all about. It's all about enriching themselves. Nothing about nation building. Absolutely nothing about nation building. And we have the evidence. So I want my Jamaican people to listen to this clip clearly in terms of what we are going to present. Now let us go for this clip on it. Honorable Andrew Holness. Okay. Let us play this. And I want people to listen keenly what the Prime Minister is saying to show you how much the Prime Minister is a political scammer and is a canarist. Listen to this clip, people.
Things that when we go around dealing with the roads is that the public sees the patching program as the immediate response. And there are some persons who would say, well, you know, the patching is of no value. What we want to see is the total upgrading and rehabilitation of the road. And I would just say to the public that the government is doing both things. And I want to again repeat it, put it into context. We are patching the roads, we are making the road surface drivable, and that is our $6.5 billion allocation in the budget. We have another program called the Spark program, and that program is designed to rehabilitate, upgrade, and improve the entirety of the road, which sometimes includes putting water pipes, drainage, and some amount of intersection improvement, road furniture where necessary, and support civil infrastructure, retaining walls, etc. So the concern of the public is well noted and it is being addressed. So there are two streams of effort. The first stream of effort is to get the road surfaces back to driving condition after this extreme weather event. And the second stream of effort is to improve roads to a very high standard and extend their useful life. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the target is that we will probably have between 600 and 660 roads that will be improved island-wide under the SPARK program. That, Mr. Speaker, will have a massive impact. One of the things that we pick up when we go around dealing with the roads is that...
And let us, clear the people's thoughts. The Prime Minister said he has two streams of efforts. One that he's going to utilize, after the extremity of the weather condition, and two, the SPARK program that is going to ensure, right, that the roads that they are going to be fixing, right, is going to fix to a very high standard that is going to serve a lifetime. He spoke that he will put in drainage and pipes and so forth. Now, my Jamaican people, let us seek clarity in the other clip that I am going to present. I want to show Jamaican people, as it relates to the Prime Minister that we have representing us, as he take our political affairs and welfare for gimmickry, PR, and nothing as it relates to the level of seriousness and utilizing taxpayers' money to put in to their pockets and enrich themselves. So tonight we are going to deal with the procurement process. Now look at this clip that I'm going to play. My people. Big PNP, Geo-Political, flush. Look at this, my people. And remember what the Prime Minister said, because now the Prime Minister is in the second layer of the program, the second effort of the program. The first effort was the one that after the extreme weather conditions, then he will use that, you understand, to apply quick surface fix to the road so that it can be drivable. Now, it is now in the second as it relates to the utilization of the SPARK program, right, to make sure that the roads that they will be fixing, right, will utilize proper drainage, quality road that will serve us for lifetime. People, look at this.
At the Pansina Crescent in licensed Eastern St. Thomas, where the REACH program reached this section of St. Thomas. But while they were doing some work today, Monday, 7th of April 2025, something happened, something bad happened. The police have to come in and try and solve the problem. So this is License Road, Pansina Crescent, where they actually trying to get this section of the road fixed. But Councillor, MP, I don't know what happened, but going down here to find out some details on what's taking place down here right now. Yeah, surely. That's a good look, but you have to go down there and try to get a closer look, a closer understanding of what's actually taking place down there so you can see. Yes, we should all live good in the parish, no matter if you are P, if you are J, no matter who doing the work, whether MP or councillor, they should work together. That's how I see it. So I'm going to present to you some happenings that actually took place today on this REACH program work on the Pansina Crescent in licensed St. Thomas. Yes, my viewers and my subscribers, just watch and see what's taking place.
So this is Pansina Crescent in St. Thomas, our license to be exact. And they're doing some work right here now. And there's some problem. I don't know what really happening. What are those? Poor quality mall. And this is what I'm protecting. This road is the responsibility of the St. Thomas Municipal Council. Now you have two tiers of government. You have central government and you have local government. You, Mr. Clarity, had spoken to me about this road as the councillor. I went to the parish council and I made a representation and the money was granted for this road. A proper comprehensive drainage program, all these carbon channels and all the drains that are caving in. All of that is on the scope of work. Now, I woke up this morning to some residents who called me about the poor quality work that is being done on the road. So I was appalled because I know that the parish council has this road on a program. When I came here and I spoke with the contractor, they said that it's the member of parliament who sent them on the road. And I called the superintendent of roads and works, who has no idea as to what is happening. No permission was granted, nothing at all. Now the proper procedure, if someone wants to work on the road, the proper procedure is to have a discussion with the parish council, who has the responsibility for the road. And if that was done, then the member of parliament would have known that there is a program slated to come on stream Monday morning to deal with this road. It is going to procurement tomorrow. So I immediately called the superintendent. I spoke with the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Local Government. And nobody have the authority to supervise this road other than the superintendent. Now, if you look at what is going on here, no supervision. Right? This is taxpayers' money, and there is no supervision on this road. I mean, I have to protect the citizens of this road, and I have to protect taxpayers' money. You can't, as a lawmaker, come and do as you pleases, because there are proper procedure, and because you know that the road is on the parish council. Right? You are trying what? All I have to say is that the people will decide at the end of the day, because you cannot give a dying woman nor man blood. It is impossible. And I am asking the residents to stand with me. Mr. Clark is here. They're the ones who asked me to assist with this road. So my problem is I need the road to be fixed, and I need it to be fixed properly. But the proper procedure, next thing, when you have a drop of rain, then people will see the result. Look at the condition of the drains. Have you ever heard a road being fixed without first attacking the drains? So that is my 2 cents. Thank you so much.
Now, let me add my 2 cents to this. So obviously, right, repair started on the road. And apart from what the Prime Minister said as it relates to when he fixed road, proper drainage and pipe and so forth, right? We're going to even bypass that. Because we know that the Prime Minister is a political canartist, scammer. So I'm not even going to go there. Now, so the procurement process, right, supposed to deal with the process of bidding, right, and the persons who, of course, that the government would decide during the bidding process to say, okay, all right, these are the persons that are suitable, right, to be given the contract, right? This is what I'm speaking now, speaking in general terms, right, of how taxpayers' money, right, being pilfered from the treasury. And so then this government, particular government, right, use their friends, right, give their friends contract, abiding procurement processes. And so then this is the reason and the problem in terms of when Jeannette Calder saying that $3 trillion being missed unaccounted for, right, cannot be accounted for through nepotism and cronyism. That government bypass the procurement processes, and where you find it that, of course, they allotted contracts to their friend and their friend overcharge, right, and money pay under the table. So this is what been happening as it relates to part and parcel of the money, $3 trillion, and this government continuing that vein of corruption. No bidding process had taken place. No bidding process, right? Breaching of the procurement guidelines and regulations. Now, when we speak out about that, the government said, no, it is not that $3 trillion unaccounted for. Appropriation account has not been submitted on time. 9 years. No, people, it's very serious. In terms of submitting appropriation account that would capture all expenditures, it's supposed to be submitted on an annual basis, on an yearly basis. So what we have here, serious questions where the permanent secretary is concerned. Who's supposed to ensure that proper procurement process and guidelines are followed? Who's supposed to ensure that that being done? The permanent secretaries. The permanent secretaries. And in any event where the permanent secretaries fail to carry out their responsibilities, who's supposed to pick up that? Parliamentarians. The parliamentarians, right? So then you have the permanent secretaries being terrible with all the breaches of the procurement guidelines, and parliamentarians being terrible, right, with all the gaps and the breaches of the procurement guidelines, right, just to ensure that those gaps existed so they continue to rob the money from taxpayers. You have heard Andrew Holness on the clip that under his administration, right, as it relates to the Spark program and the two efforts that he would be utilizing. One, the first effort, right, after the extreme weather condition, they will use that to top up the surface of the road so that it can be drivable. And after that, that situation gone a long time, right? Into the second phase, they will ensure that proper drainage, pipe, and so forth, right, being utilized. Have we seen any of that? And then billions of dollars, we are going to hear billions of dollars being awarded, right? Remember, $6.1 billion the government claimed to put aside, right, for road expenditures. Right? How much of that is going to be fully utilized? And how much of that is going to be corrupted and gone into the pockets of politicians through nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery? Pastor Ricky, what say you on the matter?
Yeah, thank you, Sir Byron. You know, it breaks my heart every time we have to talk about this, because this is clear evidence of criminality, and that is why people, when we say this is a criminal government, you know, it's not that we're bashing the government, we're telling the truth. You know, the Prime Minister says he's going to roll out 2 programs in 2024. And by February 24th, they were supposed to get to their constituents and identify the roads that needs to be fixed. And then a couple months after that, they were going to roll out the roads that they identified to be fixed. They were going to roll out the Spark program that never sparked. It never sparked for the Jamaican people. And they blame Hurricane Beryl. They blame the rainy seasons, Tropical Storm Raphael, and other tropical weather related issue. Okay, fine. We understand the rain. You can't fix the road when it's raining. But the rain ended around the end of November. The government was broke. They didn't have no money to fix any road. And so You would think that July 1st, when the new budget goes into effect, they will start fixing the road. But to this day, Spark still didn't spark, and Reach, which is their second program, is not reaching everywhere in Jamaica. Now, when you think of cronyism, skullduggery, and nepotism, it's manifesting right before our eyes in these awards that they're giving out, contracts with no, as it relates to the procurement guidelines, no type of bidding for contracts. And so they're awarding their friends in the criminal government contracts that has no experience in fixing roads or repairing road. They're using this as a political hype to get the people hype up to say, we're going to fix the road to get votes. But let me say this, because in America, you don't do road project or road repair during the daylight. In America, most road repair begins at 9 p.m. when there's less traffic on the road, rush hour is over, people are home. So then they will close down 1 lane or 2 lane, depending on how many lanes. And then they will just use 1 lane of traffic while they work on the other lanes and get that road fixed. So by in the morning, they can, and they have all of the equipment to make sure whatever they put down to fix the road is complete by in the morning and reopen the road. You see this video you played, they're fixing the road while traffic is driving on what they're fixing. How in the world they expect the road to be fixed? And the roads are so narrow in Jamaica that you can't close the road because you have traffic park on the side, and then you have a small little space for 2 vehicles to pass through, and then you have workmen. That's dangerous for even the work persons that's working, because they can be, God forbid, hit by a vehicle. So it shows the incompetence of this government that they won't even do road repairs at night when there's less traffic, less people on the road, so the work persons can complete their road. Now, I work with the federal government for many years in America. And listen, my grant recipients, if they don't have any bids in their grant application, I either have to contact them by email or phone call and have them submit the bids that is required by the Code of Federal Regulations. And so the procurement process needs to adapt some strict measurement to ensure that no contract is given out unless there is bids, at least 3 bids in the award process. And so the next thing they need to have in Jamaica, they need to have reporting requirements. So the money is tracked, the funds are tracked. If they do not submit bids, they don't submit reporting requirements like their financial statement forms, then we restrict their funds. And one of the reasons why we see these criminalities happening in Jamaica, where they overprice projects and then pay a little bit of money. For example, they would say the road costs $1 billion to fix, but then they'll do it for $1 million and put the other $900 million in their pocket. This needs to stop. This is where all the cronyism and nepotism to their friends and to themselves. And this is why they can't fix the road, because all of these funds that they're talking about, the Prime Minister said they want to fix 600 to 660 roads. Today, they have not fixed that amount of roads. So where is all that money? $45 billion appropriated or allotted to fix the roads, but they haven't fixed it. And so, they need a better system in Jamaica. They get councillors out the way, get MPs out the way, and have contractors with the experience to fix the roads so that the roads can be fixed. Because today the roads still not have been fixed, and the people that must suffer. Car front end and mash up, car swing out a pothole and a crash in another car, and it's a crying shame. Last point, the people of Jamaica should start suing the government every time you meet in an accident because you had to swing out of a pothole. Take up your phone, video, take picture of the pothole and the accident, why you had an accident, If your front end mash up, stop your car when you're dropping a pothole and take a picture and sue the government. Until you start suing the government, their behavior is not going to change. Because I tell you what, in America, if a road don't get fixed and it causes an accident, a big lawsuit that for the city. And they cutting down on that. They don't want that. So they ensure that the roads are fixed. So the prime minister should be held accountable for even the $3 trillion that's unaccounted for, missing, stolen, chopped, whichever descriptive adjective you want to use to describe it, because all 19 government agency is in his office. The buck stop with him. He is the one over the government of Jamaica. He has everything under his control. And so he should know where the $3 trillion is. And out of the $3 trillion, 12.2 billion is stolen from his office. So he should be held accountable for the $3 trillion. And then not awarding contracts. This is why we need a forensic audit when the government is changed, to see where all of this money was spent or claimed to be spent, who received contract, what type of relationship they had to people in the government that they received contract, because you have to avoid conflict of interest at all levels in government. And this is why this corruption, nepotism, cronyism, skullduggery, because there's too much conflict of interest that is taking place in this government. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
All right, thank you for that input there. But where we are going to go from here, my Jamaican people, is really rather crazy. And I mean, the Jamaica Labour Party government is just that, you know, when you look at it, the level of criminality. Now, again, 2 days ago, we have seen where SSL resurfaced again in the news. And where the government again doubled down with a vicious lie. I'm going to prove it tonight. I'm going to prove that vicious lie tonight. But let us look at what the government said here, where I definitely went and said, okay, now that I caught you in your lie, I am going to tell Jamaican people. I'm going to expose them. Look at these people. Jamaican Gleaner. Look at this, people, where the government is saying now, compensation fund announced for SSL victims. People, trust me, unbelievable. I can't believe that this is what the government is saying. Compensation fund announced for SSL victims. First payment due in May. People, can you believe this? Look at the date, people. Tuesday, April 8, 2025. A bangarang as tonight, you know. Which is today. Today, the government announced that the compensation fund announced for SSL victims. First payment due in May. Look how we're going to wreck the government tonight. Victims of the alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud at Stocks and Security Limited, SSL, are being promised, right, a partial payout starting next month. It comes more than 2 years after news of the scheme devastated clients, including Jamaican sprint icon Usain Bolt. Now, in a notice dated April 3rd, 2025, Trustee Kadian Campbell announced the establishment of the SSL Victim Compensation Fund, saying it is intended to facilitate payouts to victims of the alleged fraud. Right? Clients must submit proof of claims by April 30. Take this away. Take this away. I tell you, you don't remember that Mystic Sensation is in the space? Let me expose you now and make the entire Jamaican Jamaican people realize that you are a set of criminal. You are a set of criminal. Here, you're talking about promising as it relates to SSL fund. Let us show Jamaica people who this Jamaica Labour Party government is. Now let us go to the consolidated update. Now, catch him in his lie again. Catch the government trying to use scripts. It's a really battle for the mind. This government, people, now look here, look at the date here, people. April 17, 2024. I want people to see that. April 17, 2024. This is Nigel Clark, people. Nigel Clark. But look the lies that he told. Let me just read it up here and then we go down into the lies. The fraud at Stocks and Security Limited, SSL, is of public interest. The Financial Investigation Division has reported that the fraudulent schemes are now estimated to have affected over 200 accounts and the extent of the fraud exceeds $3 billion in value. SSL was a boutique management firm with assets that represented approximately 0.6% of consolidated financial sector assets. At the time the fraud came to public attention, SSL had custody of approximately 30 billion of client assets as a part of SSL off-balance sheet portfolio. There have been periodic updates from the entities managing the winding down of SSL, the transfer of its client balances, right, to accounts designated by clients, and the investigation into the fraud. However, some members of the public have requested a consolidated update, which I now provide in this release from updates provided to me by the FSC. Now, watch the lie now, people. Watch the lie. Here it is, Jamaica. Here we catch them. Now, let us look at this now, people. This is what they are saying, right? This is what they are saying. Let us look back at the date. This is what they are saying in April 17, 2024. Look for the lie, people. Transfer began in September and as at April 16, 2024. Now the government is saying it's going to. But April 16, 2024, listen what now. First bulletin point. 1,230 clients' accounts totaling approximately 15.37 billion of local equities and fixed income securities were transferred to accounts specified by these clients. Lie. Lie. Lie from the pit of hell. Jamaican dollar cash of approximately 665 million for 338 clients has been paid over to these clients. Lie. Lie from the pit of hell. Therefore, a total of 16.35 billion and approximately 70% of Jamaican dollar denominated assets held in SSL off balance sheet portfolio have now been transferred to clients. Take it away, honey, and bring up the first document. Bring up the first document. Let's just reiterate now what the government is now saying. Because the consolidated fund, right, told us that majority of these monies were paid out. Now look here, people. Look at this. The lie that you catch the government in. In a notice dated 3rd, 2025, Trustee Kedan Campbell announced the establishment of the SSL Victim Compensation Fund, saying its intent to facilitate payouts to the victim of the alleged fraud. Take that away. Now, my Jamaican people, this is very serious as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party government. The trickster they are, the scammer they are, the evil and cruel they are. And so then, let me tell Jamaican people this, that this Andrew Holness-led government, right, have no interest in terms of nation building. What they have interest for is to try to claim a third term to definitely try to avoid them from face the justice of their level of criminality. Their level of criminality, and SSL have all the skeletons in their closet. Let me say this. There was no money allotted in the budget.
That's right.
2024 or 2025, right? To pay SSL victims. No budget. No money allotted in the budget.
Right.
We are able to get the money from. They had said that they paid out over 1,200 clients. But here, no, they're going against what they had said then. Now we catch them in the lie. Now we caught them red-handed with their hands in the cookie jar. Take it away, Pastor Ricky.
Yeah, you know, I'm laughing because this is ludicrous. This is the art of stupidity. Listen, this same report that they put out, this same document that they put out on the 3rd of April last week, saying that the clients need to come forth and prove their claim. But the document you read from April 17, 2024 said that they have identified over 1,000 plus clients. So that's a contradiction. If you already know the clients, why do you, on their account that you have, why is it that now you need them to come and prove that their claim? You see the fraudulent, and not only that, but Nigel Clark should go to prison because the amount of lie and tell, the FBI is coming, they're going to be investigating. We need to make pay the people them $15 million to protect the computer, to log into the computers so the investigators can access information. Then this document you show from last year, almost a year ago this month, says that they paid over 1,000 clients money. Now, my question is to the Lion Prime Minister, as Sir Byron eloquently said, the budget was just read last month in the Parliament. You did not mention any of funds allotted to pay back the people in SSL. Number two, who is the source? If this is true, tell the Jamaican people and the account holders of SSL Ponzi scheme, the source that is willing to fund the people that lost all their money in SSL. Listen, we're in an election year. The election is at the door. And I believe the election will be held in June, as I said before. But listen, the Prime Minister is wounded by this SSL Ponzi scheme scandal. This scheme has had everybody in Jamaica talking from the day it was first reported in Jamaica. Now, in January 2023, when the news broke about SSL, the Prime Minister was silent. He went underground, hiding under a rock, because he was part of SSL, and we know he joined SSL in 2008. From his previous lawyer, we know he got a payout in 2008 and in 2011 to purchase the land that his Beverly Hills mansion is on. And we know he had another payout in 2012 to start construction on his Beverly Hills mansion. The same year, Bolt joined SSL in 2012. We have a whistleblower that told us that SSL opened an account for the Prime Minister Ponzi scheme ADMAT, where all of his financial crimes are buried, that he dissolved in 2021. And so he is wounded by SSL, and everybody has him as a thief. And as I said before, and as Sir Byron said before, Jamaicans don't like thief. SSL scandal alone are going to bring down him and him whole entire government. So what are they doing? On the eve of an election, general election, they put out another fake, false report to deceive and distract and deflect the people from the truth and the reality that nobody in SSL to this day has got any payout of what they put into that Ponzi scheme. Why? Because he wants to quiet this story. He wants it to fade away so that he can position himself to run for MP, which he should not be running for, and be the prime minister if they should win. But I doubt that, because they're going to lose a massive landslide defeat they're going to get. So listen, you can't fool me again. Like Bob Marley said, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Mystic Sensation, we research, we verify before we disseminate it. And you're caught red-handed from the lies that was told, that was never ever manifested, from how many money people was going to get payback up until now. Bull came out 3 weeks ago and said, boy, on the fix, and said, to this day, him not get back no money. Him not know where money there. We see Jeannette Calder lawyer now is asking for the Crow report because they want to defend her, to prove her innocent, that she was coerced by Hugh Croskery and the criminal organization that they were running, to admit that she was responsible for stealing 4.5 billion. And her affidavit that she swore to said that she was only guilty of taking 20% of $4.1 million. So where is all of that money? So this is why they're trying to bring this out, Sir Byron and everyone in the chat, to deflect, to push it to the back burner so they can focus on the election. But Mystic Sensation is going to hold you accountable every breath that we take, every step that we make. We're now looking at this SSL thing, and we're going to keep hammering it every Tuesday, every Friday. We're going to talk about SSL along with other topics. You're not going to distract us. We're too smart for your schemes and plots and devices and lies and deception. Listen, they don't have the money in the budget. It was not mentioned on the floor of Parliament in the budget debate last month. And furthermore, they did not mention who's going to fund, if this is true, who's going to be the source of funding. And so we're going to keep eyes on them like a magnifying glass, and nothing is going to slip by. It might slip by other people, but it won't slip by Mystic Sensation. Over to you, Sir Byron.
Never slip. And I want to tell you, Jamaica, where we are going now, is in the art of corruption. Benjamin, right? You're on the podium. You're on the podium, Kenneth Benjamin. And I want every security guard in Jamaica, every security guards in Jamaica, pay attention to what we are going to speak now as it relates to Kenneth Benjamin. Let me say this to Jamaican people. We have observed that Kenneth Benjamin is also a part of the detail, along with Christopher Tufton, to the Philippines, seeking for nurses and doctors. And so then we see that Kenneth Benjamin is an active operative, right, for the Jamaica Labour Party government, right, and is a part of the PSOJ. But let us ask the question. What is Kenneth Benjamin's interest? What is Kenneth Benjamin's interest? Kenneth Benjamin and the government try to rip taxpayers' money as it relates to billions of dollars. We have the evidence. We are going to prove it. Kenneth Benjamin and the Jamaica Labour Party government made an attempt. I am going to show people the evidence tonight. Made an attempt to defraud the Jamaica taxpayers billions of dollars through a program that they call Metaverse, Guardsman Metaverse. Now we are going to show the detail of that and show why Kenneth Benjamin is in bed with Andrew Holness, because, you know, he wanted those lumptious contracts, right? And the accessibility to rob taxpayers' money. Kenneth Benjamin, we are not going to allow you to do that. We are going to expose your skeleton tonight. Now let us get into the first clip and show the people, and we are going to go through it into a chronological sequence and a very detailed way to let people see it very clear and understand what I am saying. Now, Guardsman proposed partnership with the government. Look at this, people. Bringing up the evidence. Guardsman proposed partnership with the government. Here's the evidence. G-Metaverse. Guardsman proposes partnership with the government to reduce crime in Jamaica. Can you imagine? A security guard company. A security guard company, right, want to be in partnership, right, with the central government to do what? Reduce crime in Jamaica. Then why we have our member of parliament as it relates to ideas and talent and skills, right? And we are going to depend on Kenneth Benjamin, right? Who don't want to pay the security guard? Oh, well, but I'm going to expose tonight, with Kenneth Benjamin, several things and why the government allow him to continue to disrespect the security guards. Even when the court order that the security guards are not to be treated as contract workers, the government allowed Kenneth Benjamin to disrespect the judge ruling. We're going to show you why Benjamin has been allowed to disrespect the judge ruling, because Kenneth Benjamin and Andrew Holness in bed together with their plan to deceive the Jamaican people and rob taxpayers' money. Look at these people. Private security company guards on Tuesday unveiled a suite of high-tech security solutions and called for a partnership with the government to address the country's out-of-control crime problem. Dubbed the Guardsman Metaverse, the options promise an innovative, new integrated approach to security, inclusive of highly trained security guards combined with sophisticated technology, including artificial intelligence, powered camera, cyber intelligence, aerial surveillance, and a new mobile app. All of this, what you have seen here, people, right? All of this lies, connery, that both Benjamin and the Jamaica Labour Party administration cooking up to rob taxpayers' money, because the government would have funded this. I want you to pay attention, pay close attention to this paragraph. Dr. Guardsman Metaverse. The options promise an innovative, new integrated approach to security, inclusive of highly trained security guards combined with sophisticated technology, including artificial intelligence, AI. Kenneth Benjamin don't have none of this. But this was a ploy. This was the trick. Wanted Kenneth Benjamin to have government contracts to rob taxpayers' money, powered cameras, cyber intelligence, aerial surveillance, and a new mobile. Several ministers, listening people, several ministers and opposition members present were impressed with the presentation at the AC Marriott Hotel. I'm going to show you this in Kingston, and agreed with the need for more collaboration between private security industry and government. Take that away. Now, let us look to see how the government is moving closer with Kenneth Benjamin, right, to rob taxpayers. Let us lift up partnership with private security industry. Now, so the government is going to now endorse, right, endorse all of that, what Kenneth Benjamin is presenting. This is the Jamaica Information Service, people. I'm not lying. Jamaica Information Service. Now, watch this now, people. Watch this move now. Prime Minister, the most honorable Andrew Holness, says as the government pursues initiatives to improve citizen security and safety, partnership with the private security industry will be a critical part of the process. So Andrew Holness now lining up with Kenneth Benjamin now, you understand, to rob taxpayers. Now look on this now, people. See the two of them there. People, see the two of them there. See the two criminal them there. Now, people, we can read on. See the two criminal them there. Line up, right, to rob taxpayers billions of dollars in terms of a lie that Kenneth Benjamin told, and Andrew Holness know that it is a lie. Andrew Holness know that Kenneth Benjamin has none of those technologies. Now, Prime Minister, the most Honorable Andrew Holness Wright, is in discussion with Executive Chairman Guardsman Group, Kenneth Benjamin, during a security forum organized Guardsman Group at the Knutsford Court Hotel in New Kingston. Now, he said the private security sector is an essential component. You see how Andrew Holness is endorsing now what Kenneth Benjamin is saying of the national security framework, serving as sensors that can passively detect criminal activity and threats, and first responders while providing vital support for state security. Andrew Holness, I am telling you, you're dangerous and you're evil with the level of corruption. The Prime Minister was addressing the Guardsman Group Security Forum at the Knutsford Court Hotel in New Kingston on May 11. The Prime Minister, the most Honorable Andrew Holness, said as the government pursues initiatives to improve citizen security and safety, partnership with the private security industry will be a critical part of the process. Now take that away. You are showing where Kenneth Benjamin putting it out and where the Prime Minister is endorsing. Now, people, watch this and where we are going with the level of criminality. We are going to go to the Knutsford meeting and show you what's being done. But after that, there are certain things, should I say it is, how should I put it? Certain things is going to happen to reveal that Kenneth Benjamin have none of what he had promised. And all along, it was a ploy to rob taxpayers. We are going to show the evidence. Now, look at this. Let us go to the gathering at Knutsford Boulevard. Now, without any delay, honey, let us get to Guardsman Metaverse launch highlights. Let us get to that. We are breaking it down for the people and make the people understand as it relates to what Andrew Holness and Kenneth Benjamin planning for.
Guardsman has always been and always will be the company that thinks outside of the box. We have always listened carefully to what our clients require, and we have found a way to deliver. For us to deliver more seamless, intelligent, and powerful security solutions to deal with crime in our island nation, as the leader of the largest security company in Jamaica, and along with our nation's security forces, can play a critical role in diminishing crime in Jamaica, sir.
We want to make sure that when you hire Guardsmen for any services, we must add value. The technology world is changing, and it's changing fast and furious. We intend to be, and listen to me carefully, we intend to be the largest security technology provider in the Caribbean.
How can we do this? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Synergy. Synergy is our new bespoke product. It is our integrated solution that blends the use of smart technology and the use of well-trained manpower. May consist of AI cameras at the perimeter, license plate recognition at the entry, facial recognition at the staff entry, video verification for the client, an electronic or fire alarm, the ability to dispatch the very nearest asset to a problem, a drone to do aerial surveillance at night, the broadband network that you need to keep everything running smoothly, and on top of that, a security operations center who can see everything happening on the ground by having all of your cameras, all of your access control, all of your burglary, your fire, and your response team in one place.
I wish to add at this time my own congratulations to Ken Benjamin and his team, continuing to bring cutting-edge pioneering and security technology solution to the people of Jamaica and to the wider region.
Is truly mind-blowing. And what came to mind, DPM and Minister of National Security, with all this infrastructure and all this investment in infrastructure, why would the government need to duplicate this.
I think what we're witnessing here, which is mind-blowing really and incredibly impressive, reflects the scale that you have been able to build over those 45 years. And you know, I think that is going to give you a tremendous competitive advantage as you move into this new dimension of security.
Enter the Guardsman metaverse, a new dimension of security.
Now, people, let me tell you something. Now, remember that he said he have AI intelligence and he can respond to certain things and so forth, and all the technology that they claim that they have. My Jamaican people, you see when beryllium under attack and gunshot are biting skin, I run them are running. When gunshot are biting skin, all of the technology gone. No surveillance on the day. And when you look, you know, what you think Kenneth Benjamin now they do? The arcs, the security force to help you. Kenneth Benjamin who have all the technology, have all of this, have all of that. When gunshot take the taking company, you don't have no AI intelligence. People don't think that you know me. Watch a joke. Watch a scenario, people. Guardsman beryllium security. When gunshot are hitting, not there. No AI intelligence. Don't you AI intelligence run down? Me say when gunshot attack him, play on. Come on, first one. Take it away, honey. You think of one time, people? Hold on, them. Where the AI there? Get the next clip on it. Jamaican agree with. I could show them, say, no intelligence on the day. No quick response team on the day. Mr. When gunshot and lick him, all of them, there's something that what him and the government are planning to trick taxpayers, for rob taxpayers. None of them not did it.
I think that people fail to understand how serious this is in Jamaica. And I think that people are failing to understand the seriousness of what is going on. Many persons, they prefer just to sit in bed or lay in the comfort of their homes and just type something like, yeah, man, this is what is supposed to be happening, man. They must rob the people, and we can't blame them because they're no job and all kind of something. And you know, funnily, also, you'd be surprised when you actually go on some of these people page. These people are quote unquote educated people who supposed to know better. So when persons come with this non-story, I think that people fail to understand how serious this is in Jamaica. And I think that people are failing to understand.
Let's go to the Jamaican public. Now my Jamaican public. Just imagine. If these incidents did not occur, you know what would have happened? Bigger robbery would have taken place with Kenneth Benjamin and Andrew Holness as it relates to taxpayers' money. Kenneth Benjamin would have been given the contract. Billions of dollars would have put in as it relates to the merging between the security company and police officers. Madness! Benjamin and the government would have robbed the people of Jamaica. And to our surprise, Kenneth Benjamin, after several attacks on his own company, Kenneth Benjamin is asking assistance from the government for protection. Kenneth Benjamin, who have all the state-of-art technology, wanting to get government contract, billions of dollars. Kenneth Benjamin, when contract taking skin, asking the government, right, for assistance and protection. Think of what I'm saying here, people. If those incidents didn't happen, Kenneth Benjamin and Andrew Holness would have gotten away with what they were planning to do. Pastor Ricky, take it away.
You know, this prime minister just keep putting his foot in his mouth and keep revealing that he's, you know, he's a criminal. Listen, he's the minister of defense, right? You have the JDF in Upper Camp, some in Manique and other parts of Western Jamaica. And you have the JCF, which is the police force that, and then you have Jamaica I, according to them. And you have a couple like King Alarm security companies that's there already on the ground, providing residential security and, you know, business security. There is no need for this entity, because when you look on the video we just played, it looks like they put clips together from YouTube of other security firms internationally to make a presentation to impress.
That's what they did. That's
to
what they
lure the prime minister into partnering with them and waste taxpayers' money into another fraudulent means. Listen, the JCF don't even want to wear body cameras. The technology that in America, every police have to wear body camera. It's entrenched now into the law. And if they turn it off and a crime, something happened, they can be held responsible, and based upon what happened, they can be prosecuted. So body cameras is more potent than this guy, Kenneth Benjamin, fraudulent, opportunist ways of trying to get taxpayers' funds. Jamaica I, if it's functioning, because I think Chan came out a couple months ago and said it's not working. But if it's functioning now, they don't need this guy. With all the crimes that's in Jamaica, that Jamaica is on the US, the Canadian, and the UK list of travel advisory for out of control crime. A report came out that Jamaica has the second highest crime in the Western hemisphere of the Caribbean, behind Haiti. So they don't need this guy, because what is he going to add to help crime? They say that crime is down by what, 34%? I think that's the last thing I heard this week, which I doubt very much. But if crime is really down 34%, but Portland has crime now 200% higher than ever before, why do they need Kenneth Benjamin? It's just another fleecing of taxpayers' funds. And this prime minister cannot be trusted with taxpayers' funds. I mean, he cannot be trusted with investors' funds. He cannot be trusted with charity funds. A man who took $34,000 out of his foundation for that charity donors gave and bought a U.S. multi-million-dollar stock bond and hid it until the Integrity Commission find out. So this is another way of them fleecing taxpayers' money, or attempt, I should say, to fleece taxpayers' funds to enriching in himself. And, you know, the prime minister doesn't learn, man. I mean, I don't know. The more criminality get involved in the higher the monkey can climb, is the more exposed him get. So this is just another exposure that he cannot be trusted with taxpayers' funds. You have a police commissioner, you have the JDF commander. They should be involved in any negotiation or consultation or any type of new presentation as it relates to enhanced security. He should focus on running the economy that he crashed. The economy is in a recession. He should not be involved in these things. But Again, anything that involves taxpayers' funds, yes, he's gonna want to put his hand in the cookie jar, and so that's why you see him, you know, in a setting like that at a forum, whispering privately, making deals and wheels to enrich himself along with Kenneth Benjamin. Now, this needs to be investigated, and people in Jamaica should stay away from this Ponzi scheme with Guardsman. Don't try to hire them for anything. You already have King Alarm. You already have another another Arc Eye in Jamaica, and you have Jamaica Eye. You don't need Kenneth Benjamin and his follies and his deceived schemes and devices to rip people off. So what? Them are gonna award him now some kind of multi-billion-dollar contract to do what?
Exactly.
And then what am I gonna do? What them
Yes,
now already?
technology.
Right.
None of the technology that you have spoken about. He has none.
So it's just a giveaway them are come with and wrap it in our package to make it sound enticing and impressive. And the Prime Minister needs to know, so what they part him case, what they part him trail, everything him do, every decision he make, we see, we are watching, we are scrutinize him. So him can't get away with nothing around here. So what we now watch him, I'm not gonna expose upon him. So if I was you, Prime Minister, I would abandon any Ponzi scheme you cook up in your head. Because we depend you like fly. We're like flies on the wall. We know everything what you do. So this is just one more Ponzi scheme where it's gonna flop. And that's all them do is cook up Ponzi scheme. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
Blessings. So then now you can see as it relates to the security guard having problem under Andrew Holness administration, right? Even although when they take the security guard company to court and they won, that they are not to be treated as contract workers. But under Andrew Holness administration and that sort of relationship with Benjamin, buddy relationship with Benjamin, because see here, Benjamin is on mission with Christopher Tufton to the Philippines. So you can see the relationship there. You understand? Still hanging on. You understand? To get government benefits, right? Through nepotism. Now, look at this in terms of the court made a decision that the security guards are not to be treated as contract workers. But yet, under the Holness administration, Benjamin continued to break the laws and disregard the court ruling. Now, let us look on this document. Not satisfied, security guard refused to sign new contract. Even when the court said they are not to be treated as contract workers, Benjamin, along with other, employers of security, are forcing down contract for security to sign. Listen to these people.
Related matters, all is not well in the local security industry, as scores of guards are now out of a job. We are not able to say the exact figure, but it's understood that a number of security guards attached to a particular company have not signed their new contracts now. Some of them staged a protest at the Ministry of Labor today. Anthony Lugg reports.
Security guards had been looking forward to April 1 as it marked new beginnings. Their employment status officially changed from independent contractors to employees. The process has been anything but smooth. Many of them are now on the unemployment line because they refused to sign their contracts. They took their frustration to the Labor Ministry Thursday.
Now the first thing on it, you cannot be working with a company for 10, 15, 25, 30 odd years. And still they want to put you on 3 months probation. And during that 3 months, they can let you go at any time. And when they let you go, you're not going to get nothing at all.
And I work with the company for 27 years, from the 6th of March, 1996, up until this morning when they told me I should not take up duty tomorrow morning. And when I asked them why, they said because I do not sign the contract. I said to them this morning, then if I'm not with you anymore, you need to give me my official letter of dismissal. They said no. That's what they said. They said no, and I don't think that is right. Look at my ear. I am gray I am 64-year-old. Next year, me 65. And when next year come, what you think they're gonna do with me? Send me home on my yard. Them is a wicked set. We don't deserve this.
But that's not all.
I hereby confirm that I have no pending claims, proceedings, or dispute with you of any nature whatsoever, and that I waive any claims or disputes that I could have. I unconditionally release and discharge you from all past liabilities to the full extent possible under law. That is why we are here, because the guards are saying if they sign this, the years of service, the vacation leave, those who get injured on the job and have pending claims, etc., etc., all of that gone.
President of the Union Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, Vincent Morrison, says he was hoping to participate in a meeting which at the time of the protest was in progress at the Labor Ministry, but he was barred. He believes some of the terms outlined in the contract are unjust, stressing that the ministry must intervene to protect the interests of the workers.
We put together a steering committee comprising 11 workers from across the industry. We'll be meeting with those workers at 5 o'clock this afternoon, along with our legal representative, Mr. Leonard Green.
We've been unsuccessful in our attempts to get an update from the Ministry of Labour on the outcome of Thursday's meeting. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Wonderful job, YP, are doing here. So let us ask the question. Is this Jamaica Labour Party administration is going to protect, right, the security guard workers? Right now, Andrew Holness is seeking a third term, right? I would want the security guards, all security guards in Jamaica, right? Andrew Holness would want the security guards give him a third term. Is Andrew Holness protecting the security guards? No. Andrew Holness and Jeannette Benjamin are friends and cronies.
Yeah.
And so their effort is to protect Kenneth Benjamin. They know that the court, even when the court, right, passed, right, the law and said they are to be treated as employees, right? They are finding ways and means, right, to put the rules over the security guard eyes for them to sign 3 months probation contracts. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. It's Andrew Holness administration is looking after the security officers. No, and will never. Let me tell you something, Jamaica. And let me speak particularly to all the security guards in Jamaica. This Jamaica Labour Party administration has no interest. They are siding with employers of the security guard companies, Benjamin and others, right, to make sure they continue to abuse our brothers and sisters who are a part of the security guard companies. Many of them being ill-treated, many of them being underpaid, many of them working double overtime shift and not being paid properly. Many of them, and the government know all about this, and the government does nothing at all to protect them. And here's the government. Here is the government seeking third term, a kleptocratic government. And so then when you look in terms of the persons and the people, the vampires who are abusing the Jamaican people, it is Kenneth Benjamin, right, is a part of the team with Christopher Tufton on mission to go, right, in the Philippines, right, to get nurses and doctors to come to Jamaica after they bow to Donald Trump. So you tell me, if Andrew Holness is going to protect security guards when he aligns himself with Kenneth Benjamin. Kenneth Benjamin on a mission. So Kenneth Benjamin can abuse the security guard. He can do what he wants to the security guard, pay no regards, right, to the court ruling, and continue to disrespect our people because seeking contract for government and political kickback, you name it. No, but let us show Jamaican people who are standing up. Hold on, Pastor Ricky. let me just do this and then invite you in. Let us show, right, the Jamaican people who are standing up.
Yeah.
Standing up for them without any delay. Let us show the Jamaican people, right, who are speaking out on their behalf as a result of the cruelty and the wickedness that the Jamaican Labour Party administration continue to do with our Jamaican people as it relates to contract workers, particularly security guards being abused. So abused under the Jamaican Labour Party administration. Play that clip.
Back to Primetime News. Special welcome to viewers of OneSpotMedia.com. Up first this evening, the parliamentary opposition is again blasting the government for its approach towards security guards and the new contract some companies are forcing them to sign. Under the new contract, some security guards say they stand to lose decades of benefits. As Kalisha Williams reports, the opposition says the government has neglected the guards.
From robbery and vandalism to low wages and unfavorable working conditions, security guards in the island have had their hands full since the start of the year. The opposition is among the latest group of people taking issue with how the workers are being treated. The main concern, the new contract the guards say they have been forced to sign.
We believe that it is against the law. We believe, as I've said before, that the companies are not acting in good faith. But I think that the most egregious part of it is not the companies who are acting in their interest and who are guided by their legal experts. It is the government who has left the workers on their own.
On April 1, the guards transitioned from independent contractors to employees, and some have since taken to the streets, complaining that they could lose years of benefits under the new contract. Opposition spokesperson on Labor and Social Security, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, is questioning the government's response to the issue.
The last I heard is that the Minister of Labor has actually rejected or prevented them from coming in and having a conversation with them with an advocate, with someone who is more versed than they are in terms of industrial relations. We don't expect this from the government. You know, just recently, persons were talking about who was Massa. If there was ever something that shows that this is a Massa government we're talking about, it is this approach to the workers.
And on top of that, Dr. Brown-Burke pointed out that some security companies with government contracts are paying their workers below the minimum wage. She renewed calls for the government to intervene.
And I believe that the government of Jamaica has a responsibility to stand up for the workers and make sure, first of all, that every single company that is providing security services for them is paying the workers what they are supposed to get, and that their contract also is one that is fair.
When we contacted the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Carl Samuda, to respond to some of the issues raised, he declined to comment on the matter. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
Yes, Carl Samuda is going to decline to comment on the matter, right? Because he represents a government that oppressing and suppressing our Jamaican people, paying them even below the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And the Jamaican Labour Party administration totally cognizant of the wickedness and the viciousness being meted out to our security guards. I will stand and defend them because,
Amen.
of course, I had passed through a system like those, right? I myself had experience where that situation is concerned. So then when we are talking in terms of certain situation, we understand what is going on.
Yeah.
The abuse, the oppression, the suppression of the Jamaican Labour Party in alignment, right, with all these employers as it relates to security guard employers, right, having them abusing, right, and of course, some of them, including Benjamin, right, are sponsors of the Jamaican Labour Party campaign and general election. Please note that, right? And I allow Pastor Ricky in the space.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sir Byron. Listen, the Prime Minister Pernell Charles to go over tourism. Not Pernell Charles, Charles Jr. who over Ministry of Labor, Ed Bartlett who over tourism, Varsism who over transportation, and the way them treat the taxi man them not want to win no election for the type of abuse where them abuse the people them in Jamaica. Remember last year the security guard them was only making 14,000, and during the budget debate in 2023, Nigel Clark said them are gonna raise it from 14,000 to 15,000. So them give them a 1,000, and 15,000 at the time was the new minimum wage. It's sad because these men and women risk their lives. Even the beryllium drivers, how much of them did I get robbed and money I get stolen? Some, I think 1 or 2 of them get shot. Risk their life every day, put them life on the front lines to secure. And the Prime Minister does not understand, and he's lacking knowledge to know that people are your greatest asset. No company, no business, no corporation, no government, no church, no anything can function without people. You abuse people and violate labor rights, their labor laws that needs to be in place. Having full-time workers not working full-time, but on a contract, rotating them 3 months or 6 months, is a violation of labor laws in many countries. The Prime Minister doesn't care. He's uncaring. He want to kiss up to the PSOJ, the big boys, them. That's a minority. Them have the purse and the money, but that's a minority when it comes to the voting population. The people who are oppressed, them are go the polls. The PSOJ, they might not even go polls. They might just give them campaign funds. And when you are suppressing the voters, you're not just oppressing one mother or one father or one youth or one sister. You're oppressing a family. And that's what the Prime Minister does not understand. You're oppressing a family. So when you squeeze the workers out of their benefits, out of their labor rights, out of union to become unionized, and give them empowerment and treat them as if they're an asset, you are doing a disservice. And this is why I'm saying him insult the work of them, cause I'm saying, cause him rotten rich, him not care about people, him not have no empathy, sympathy, or compassion when it comes to people. Him insult the workers them and say there is no skilled workers in Jamaica. So him have to go overseas, forget people for coming to Jamaica come work. And we know Jamaicans are very creative. When we are little youth, we build skate with car bearings and board. That's how we did have bicycle. We never have bicycle when we are grown up. When we are youth, we build milk box with buckle stopper. That was our tie. We build kite, BG kite with flower piece and put on the sheet on the tail and fly. We were creative as youth. Jamaica is full of people that is very innovative, very creative. But guess what? This Prime Minister, who was a Minister of Education in 2007 in the Bruce Golding administration, does not see the need for empowerment in terms of education, in terms of job training, skills and development to grow the population to become skillful workers, to enhance the skill what God already give them. So when you hear Benjamin talk about AI technology and drone flying over these are technology that them are used to bring in for eliminate the workers. That's why they don't care about the workers' well-being, because them are gonna use technology and eliminate positions. Same thing them do with the hotel workers. If the hotel worker them never go on strike last year and many different hotels start strike, them wouldn't pay them no attention and rush for negotiate with them and to enhance the work environment and the salary that they wanted. This is an uncaring prime minister who is rotten rich from taxpayers' embezzlement, stealing and thieving, and does not see the need of helping the poor man who has struggled. And the same prime minister is to blame the corner shop people, and say them have spread COVID in the country. And it's if him lock down the country and say, turn on the yard and want people stay home and suffer and die from hunger. A very uncaring government, a prime minister who has no clue, no knowledge, who's out of touch with reality. How can a person survive off of 15,000? By the time them pay taxi fare, and it's not even a full-time job, it's a part-time job them are work. Them people that work 20 years, a lady said, she's 64, next year she's 65, retirement age. And she said, I'm going to push her out. That's how uncaring this government is. To know that y'all use people, modern day slavery going on in Jamaica right now. Slavery used to be upon the cotton fields and the sugar plantation. Slavery now become classism and is a financial thing when it comes to slavery now. So him claim him create prosperity, but in 9 years, him get the workers of Jamaica poverty. And it's a crying shame. And I'm glad the security officers are starting to protest, and I'm glad they reject signing a contract that is not favorable to their survival, stability, well-being, and prosperity. Them need for reject everything and stand together as in unison like the hotel workers did. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
Wonderful input. I love that. So let us now put the Jamaica Labour Party administration right in front of our eyes, put them under focus, right, as it relates to why we are saying to the uncommitted, right, that you need to understand as it relates to good governance and how important good governance is, right, as it relates to nation building. We cannot build a nation, right, as it relates to a kleptocratic government. We cannot build a nation that, as it relates to a government that endorses transnational crime, drugs, gun shipment, and all of that. And not only that, let me just explain this. That when you have a government that involves, as it relates to the pushing of drugs to damage their society, damaging society, right, in terms of where that drugs can be domesticated, simply means that we have Jamaican people using that drugs, gun shipment, you understand, several guns that dumped in Jamaica. No, let's put Andrew Holness under the focus and make a comparison, contrast. Now, when we look at Andrew Holness as a prime minister, my people, let me say this. You will realize that if you compare it with any other prime minister in Jamaica, the level of corruption that Andrew Holness administration, right, observed, it's unbelievable and unprecedented, right? Let me say this. Unprecedented as it relates to the amount of drugs operation running under Andrew Holness administration. Unprecedented as it relates to the amount of, persons that connected to the Jamaica Labour Party put in the judiciary and now being found guilty of corruption.
My God.
So when you look at that, never before, right, that, okay, when you talk about the People's National Party, you might be one alarming situation, right? And let us talk about the current Spencer situation, right? And of course, where the People's National Party step aside and allow the judiciary, right, process to work. And so then Colonel Spencer processed through the judiciary and found not guilty, right? Because of obviously some of it was propagandized as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party. But now, whenever you put Jamaica Labour Party member of parliament within the judiciary, they can't escape. Why is it so? Are you saying that the judiciary, right, is partial when it comes to the People's National Party and wanting to find them guilty. No, because most of what Jamaica Labour Party is doing is propaganda.
Right.
Propaganda. And trying to justify their wrongdoing. Now, let us look to show the evidence, and we are saying, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, right, that if there is anyone from the People's National Party who involved in corruption, right, put them through the judiciary. Put them through the We don't want to hear and a lot of talking, and you can't put them through the judiciary. You don't have any evidence to put them through the judiciary.
Right.
Then why? It is the People's National Party always find the evidence, put you through the judiciary, and not only put you through the judiciary, found you guilty. Even under your own administration, Andrew Holness, your own administration, the criminal justice system under your own administration is putting your people in the judiciary and do what? Found them guilty. Evidence number one to be. Let us go to Jamaica Cleaner. Former Senator Leslie. Let us go to this and show Jamaican people what we are talking about. Right? So then, Jamaica has to decide as it relates to where we need to move from corruption, criminality, nepotism, and cronyism as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party government. Look at these people. Leslie Campbell fined 400,000 for breaching the ISAT. Guess what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Guilty. April 4, 2025. Look at this. Here it is. Former Senator Leslie Campbell has been fined 400,000 following his conviction. Let me just put up that document again. There. Hold on. My bad as it relates to that. I want for people to follow me as I go. Right? So we are just showing why Andrew Holness administration, you have so many corruption. Right? Never before, as I said, unprecedented in making the comparison with any other prime minister. So then, my people, something definitely wrong, and it speaks, right, in total definition of the prime minister, culpability, right, and tolerance, right, as it relates to corruption. The prime minister is indeed corrupt.
Yes, he
is indeed corrupt, right? Here it is. The fine has already been paid. Campbell would have had to serve 6 months in prison if the fine was not paid. The sentence was imposed in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. His attorney, Matthew Hyatt, said Campbell will not appeal the sentence. He can't appeal the sentence. He cannot appeal it.
That's
because
right.
he knew that he is guilty.
Amen.
He knew that he is guilty. Let us look on, you understand, the nature of the charges. Campbell, a former junior foreign minister, was charged in 2023 with breaches of the Parliament Integrity of Members Act and the Integrity Commission Act for failing to provide information about his assets and income following a recommendation from the IC's Director of Corruption prosecutor. So these persons cannot explain their way and refuse to provide justification. Take it away from me. Now, let us show the Jamaican people, we want for Jamaican people, the undecided, to look at the evidence that we are presenting here tonight and make a decision. And answer yourself the question, make the comparison. What the PNP, the People's National Party, has anything like this mess? No. This is an atrocity. This is a crisis proportion as it relates to political representation. We are not getting any political representation. the Jamaican Labour Party administration, right, believes that they need to enrich themselves on the back of taxpayers. And so then it goes on and goes on and goes on with the level of corruption. When you look at this next clip, people, when you look and see what I am presenting, one has to know, take an introspection. Look into yourself and say, no, I am here for good governance and I'm not getting good governance. Look at this criminal pimp. Dalrymple Filbert pleads guilty to breaches of ISAT. Just imagine. Former House Speaker. Now look at it, you know, people. This is the former House Speaker. House Speaker. Who's supposed to have an impeccable character. Who's supposed to stand above ground. Who's supposed to make such a role model, who's supposed to set an example. But yet, if you have leaders like these failing the Jamaican people, then what can you expect from this administration? This administration, as we pointed out from time to time, are so clear of their kleptocratic behavior. Let us play this clip.
In September 2023, Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert resigned as House Speaker and member of Parliament, following a ruling by the Integrity Commission that she be charged for making false statements on her statutory declarations. The Integrity Commission had accused her of omitting a Mercedes-Benz motor vehicle from her documents submitted to the Commission between 2015 and 2021. Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert was charged with 8 counts, 4 for breaches of the Parliament Integrity of Members Act and 4 for breaches of the Integrity Commission Act. When she appeared in court this morning, Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert decided not to contest some of the charges brought against her. This decision follows a preliminary point raised by her attorney King's Counsel Peter Champagny, which was considered by Parish Judge Leighton Morris in December last year. The former House Speaker was then slapped with a fine of nearly $1 million or 10 days in prison. But prior to the sentencing, the presiding judge pointed out issues with the Integrity Commission Act. He noted that there was no clear provision for the Commission to have accepted Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert's declarations, particularly where she had corrected the record by declaring her ownership of the motor vehicle in question during an interview conducted by the officials of the Anti-Corruption Agency. The correction was made by Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert by way of an updated statutory declaration.
But why are they behaving like that? Why are they behaving like that? Let us ask this question. Why are the members of Parliament behaving in this regard? Now, let us look why they are behaving like that as it relates to that sort of, what they call it, licky finger, right? Let us look and see why they are behaving like that. Let us look why they are behaving like that. And then we will understand why we need to move away from a Jamaican Labour Party administration that have no essence, no effort, and no strive towards nation building.
Right.
Let us look and see what is happening on corruption. Let us look, right, and see what is happening here as to why you can understand why the Jamaican Labour Party, right, people are behaving like that. Let me say it again. Let me just show you why they are behaving like that.
Yeah, they have their guardian to protect them from prosecution too.
And you will see why. You will see why they are behaving like that. You will definitely have an understanding why you not need to vote for the Jamaican Labour Party. The Andrew Holness administration, we know that Andrew Holness is one of the 8. He doesn't want for us to know the other 7.
Amen.
So then he want to parade the other 7, right, on the ballot, and we must vote for them as it relates to protect the status quo. So people, this is why the Jamaica Labour Party, right, Andrew Holness cannot correct them. The leader cannot correct them because the leader himself is corrupt. Look at it, people.
Amen.
And welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com.
We begin this evening with news from the courts. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been granted leave to seek judicial review in his battle with the Integrity Commission.
It is the latest development in Mr. Holness's legal challenge of the IC over his statutory declarations. The details in this report.
Justice Althea Jarrett, in her ruling, indicated that the Prime Minister can proceed to seek an order of certiorari, quashing the August 30, 2024 Integrity Commission IC report. Mr. Holness also has leave to petition the court for an order of certiorari, quashing the IC's special report, except for the section where the IC urges the Parliament to develop a policy and legislation to deal with the commercial and corporate activities of ministers of government and the likelihood of conflicts of interest arising. The judge also rejected the Prime Minister's application for an order of mandamus, compelling the IC's Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, to recommend that he should be exonerated of culpability in relation to his 2021 and 2022 statutory declarations. The application was refused on the basis that the court cannot and will not usurp the decision-making powers of public bodies and public officers. The Prime Minister's legal team welcomed the ruling. The attorneys Georgia Gibson Henlin KC and Senator Ransford Braham KC issued a statement this afternoon arguing that the ruling now gives Mr. Holness the opportunity to challenge the decision of the Integrity Commission and its Director of Investigation. The lawyers also contend that Prime Minister Holness does not require permission to apply for declarations. Therefore, the 23 declarations for relief will be included in the claim that is now fixed for first hearing on January 7, 2025. Amoy Harriet, TVJ News.
My Jamaican people, this is what we call a goddamn shame. Shame and embarrassment to all of us. That the government is taking the government to court. The government is challenging the entire laws that stand on the guidelines and principles of checks and balance. The government is taking the government to court. Madness. Madness and steroids. What say you, Pastor Ricky?
Yeah, I want to applaud the judiciary for holding the line against this criminal government. When you look at the Prime Minister, the head of government, you should be above reproach. You should be an example setter. The fact of the matter that he did not sign the code of conduct by the Integrity Commission, the leadership code of conduct that speaks to transparency, honesty, integrity, objective. You know, he persuaded members of his criminal organization to go along with him and not sign the code of conduct. Now that tells you that they have something to hide. This Prime Minister used Section 53 of the Integrity Commission, Section 53, subsection 3, that speaks of the gag order. And the gag order was, in my understanding, is for the Integrity Commissioners not to speak on the matter of investigation until it's tabled. But he used that in the Integrity Commission Act to use it to silence and put a gag order on the members of Parliament. Means that he has something to hide. Now, when he took, after the IC, God bless the Integrity Commission, big up on himself, Justice Seymour Panton, live forever, and Greg Christie. God allow the DPP office to become null and void for 1 whole year. You know, God is working behind the scenes, and I have to speak from a place of discernment. He allowed the DPP to be kicked out of office so that the Integrity Commission can proceed forward with the investigation of this prime minister. And so when they send the report on the prime minister to the parliament in September last year, it was tabled, and the Revelation bombshell reports identified that the prime minister was involved in money laundering. The Integrity Commission report reveals that because he set up 28 different bank accounts, transferring funds around $473 million, and he also transferred funds in accounts with his parents and a friend of his, which is how money laundering works, because you set up different accounts, you set up shell companies, and you put assets and funds in other people's that are close to you, name that you can trust. So that's money laundering 101. Anybody go Google it and you will understand what I'm saying. Tax evasion, from having 3 companies that he set up in the height of COVID, but yet, and they show that millions of dollars passed through those 3 companies, but yet Sir Byron and Lady Anne Marie, he filed nil in taxes, as if he's saying that we didn't make any profit or earn any revenues. So that's tax evasion. Racketeering, he tried to do conspiracy to commit investor fraud, with also when he had a loan from Beretta investment companies with 3 proposed collaterals that he did not have. That's a crime right there. He did not have the $10,000 cash. He didn't have the property. And then we saw the abuse of power. He used the office of the prime minister to abuse his power. And when he got caught, you know, the Integrity Commission referred to a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, further investigations for the prime minister by the Financial Investigation Division, FID, and TAJ, Tax Administration of Jamaica. So right now, as we're speaking, the prime minister is still under investigation, according to the Memorandum of Understanding. He's not out of the waters. He's still under investigation, and that's why he needs to resign and step down from office so that he can clear his name, follow the lead of Dalrymple, your MP. And so when he got caught and exposed to the Jamaica people and the entire world, what did he do? He took the Integrity Commission to court. No prime minister in the history of Jamaica has ever been investigated for illicit enrichment of funds that his lawful income did not earn. And so in order for him to cover up or try to cover up, he took the Integrity Commission to court on 28 different counts that he wanted them to send for a judicial review. And so the court looked at and what he wanted them to review, and they kicked out or threw out or rejected 25 of the 28. The 3 most important things that he wanted the court, that you just played the TVJ news clip, he wanted the court to exonerate him and said he was not guilty.
Not going to happen.
And the judge said, no way, they kick it out. There's no way we can't force the Integrity Commission to do what is right. And they say what is right is that they investigated you. You didn't want to cooperate with them. You didn't submit documents to them. So they went to get a international financial auditor that discovered a lot of financial crimes. So he wanted the courts to throw out Section 14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Act that speaks directly to illicit enrichment. Why? Because he's guilty of enrichment himself. He cannot answer to the Integrity Commission. He cannot explain his massive amount of wealth. What was the source of funding? How did you earn what your lawful income could not provide it? That's what illicit enrichment is about. Google it if you don't believe me. And then the next thing that he wanted the Integrity Commission to do, he wanted the commission to, the court said, all right, we're going to make it go up on 3 counts. And his lawyers, the Integrity Commission lawyers agreed to it, because basically what that did, it was explaining the process, and the process that the Integrity Commission used to show that there is no bias, to show that there is no malice, to show that there is no prejudice. They're following the teeth of the law. And so the judge, the Integrity Commission agreed for him to have those 3 counts of the process of the Integrity Commission findings and the act that they followed. And so when that is put off now till October this year because of the upcoming constitutionally due election by September. So what we're seeing is a prime minister that failed miserable to have the court throughout exoneration, throughout the illicit enrichments, section 14, subsection 5, and the courts are now in charge. And this is what Jamaica needs. This is what gives me hope again in the judiciary to realize that they are holding the line against this government. One last point. On 7 different occasions, he breached the Constitution and was taken to court, and he lost all 7 of them. The last one was Portmore to become the 15th parish. And so when we look at a prime minister who's trampling on the very Constitution, Jamaica is a country of laws that is guided by the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. And this prime minister, who's supposed to be the head of the country, cannot adhere to the laws of the land because he is corrupt. He's guilty of everything that's in the IC report. And I stand by that because it's true. And one of the things I didn't mention earlier, in SSL, he had a payout of $143,000 to a new NCB account. I mean, when you look at the level of criminalities and fraud and deception and lies from this prime minister, he's unfit to be the prime minister of Jamaica. He's unfit to be a member of parliament. He's unfit to run for re-election, and he's unfit to even be considered to become prime minister again. What type of message is he sending to our young people, the next generation that is coming up behind us? That you can commit crimes, financial crimes, you can defraud people of their tax-paying funds, and you can do a Ponzi scheme and lie and take the government to court. And the final point is that now the court says the Attorney General should be a part of his suit.
All right.
And the Attorney General is his friend. So, you know, he's caught in like a deer in the light, you know. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
All right, well said, Pastor Ricky. Love that. But let us, Pastor Ricky, take a visit into St. James, right? And where we are going to make some comparison and contrast between the clash of the titans in St. James that is happening between Alan Bernard and Horace Chang, and why we are telling the people to support Alan Bernard. We are going to bring up, right, certain items that relates to those two, right? Without any delay, let us go, right? Jamaica, a tale of 2 titans, the rise of Alan Bernard and the fall of Horace Chang. Let us get into that, people. This is interesting. This segment, my people, is definitely going to show you why, right, we need to support Alan Bernard, right, and Horace Chang need to go. So let us look right up close and personal, right? Jamaica, a tale of 2 titans, the rise of Alan Bernard and the fall of Horace Chang. Now here is Alan Bernard, my brethren, my brother. Montego Bay, Jamaica, April 4th, 2025, the fortress walls are crumbling. For over 2 decades, Dr. Horace Chang has reigned supreme in St. James, Northwestern, but his political empire now stands on foundations of sand, shaky. As the architect of security in a blood-soaked constituency, Chang's legacy is written not in the monuments of progress, but in the graffiti of unfulfilled promises. Enter Alan Bernard, lecturer, community specialist, devout Rastafarian, armed not with the machinery of political power, but with something far more potent. Oh, let us get into that. Dr. Chang's political biography reads impressively on paper. Born in 1952 in New Roads, Westmoreland, his journey through Cornwall College and the University of West Indies led him to the corridors of power. Member of Parliament since 2002, Minister of National Security since 2016, Deputy Prime Minister, JP General Secretary. His resume gleams with prestigious titles. Yet, in the acumen of politics, titles have failed to transmute into tangible change for the people who matter most. The myth of Chang's invincibility has been carefully crafted over the years. St. James Northwestern is portrayed as an impenetrable GLP garrison, a political fortress where challengers fear to tread. This narrative conveniently obscures an inconvenient truth. In the last general election, Chang secured merely 6,481 votes from a pool of 30,113 registered voters. Over 20,000 citizens chose silence over endorsement, and that is why we want to get into those 20,000, right? Because they did not vote for Chang. Not through apathy, but through a quiet rebellion brewing beneath the surface. The opposition failure to present a formidable challenger wasn't born of incompetence, but intimidation. I want people to listen to that. Chang's perceived invulnerability became a self-fulfilling prophecy until now. The emperor's new clothes are the threadbare when examined under the harsh light of reality. When Chang inherited this constituency, annual homicides numbered 66. Today, that figure has exploded to 370. I want people to have an understanding of what we are reading. Let me go back. Let me go over that again. The emperor's new clothes are threadbare when examined under the harsh light of reality. When Chang inherited this constituency, what was the annual number as it relates to homicide? Was 66. Was 66. When Chang took it over, 66. Today, under Chang tenure, that figure has exploded. We're talking about St. James to 370, a 6-fold increase that speaks volumes about his efficacy as National Security Minister. The implementation of state emergency and zone of special operation stand not as solutions, but as expensive monuments to failure, symbols of a governance in crisis indeed. The housing promises that once flowed from Chang lips have evaporated into the represented reggae thumping Montego Bay here, where tourists frolic while locals wait in vain. The 76 housing units promised for Canterbury remain phantoms. The 550 million allocated might as well have been buried at sea for all the transparency surrounding its disbursement. Wow. Meanwhile, vendors of the shoe market have spent 23 years on the tarpaulins, weathering 3 fires and a flood, while the displaced victims of Hurricane Charlie squat near the infirmary, their promised homes upgraded beyond their financial reach. Now, take it away, honey. I want to show certain things in terms of defending, right? Those research that been done. Is it true? Is it false? Let us get into the document to show that what unearthed here as it relates to Horace Chang, it is indeed truthfulness of the lack of representation from Horace Chang. Now, let us bring up the first document. Illegal firearms trafficking a threat. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because Chang himself is bearing it out to the public. Listen, people. Chang himself. Now, I am not making up this. This is Horace Chang. Illegal firearms trafficking a threat to CARICOM. This is Chang tenure. I want people to understand. And Chang is in admittance. See? The Jamaican Embassy in Washington, May 27, 2022. Chang is highlighting his weakness that he has no plans and solutions. Let us read what Chang, right, is stating here. Illegal firearms trafficking a threat to CARICOM. Said Chang. Here is Chang. This is Chang tenure. Chairman of CARICOM Council for National Security and Law Enforcement and Jamaican National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the illicit trafficking of illegal firearms is a significant challenge for the region. Now, let us look at that first paragraph. It's so ironic that Chang would have mentioned this. Let us reiterate this to the people's intelligence, right? Chairman of the CARICOM Council for the National Security and Law Enforcement and Jamaica National Security, Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the illicit trafficking of illegal firearms is a significant challenge for the region. Why Mystic Sensation said this is ironic? Because in the WikiLeaks documents and investigators, sharp investigators within WikiLeaks have Horace Chang as someone who, as according to WikiLeaks, involved in the very same illicit trafficking of illegal firearms and drugs operation. WikiLeaks have Horace Chang. So what Horace Chang is saying right here is really ironic. People, let us go. Let us dig in. Addressing Thursday committee meeting on hemispheric security at the Organization of the American States by video conference, Dr. Chang pointed out that people have to do it by video conference because he can't touch American side. If he touch American side, then lock up him backside. So you have to do video conference. More point out that enough to the people, enough for the people to understand. Addressing Thursday committee meeting on hemispheric security at the Organization of American States by video conference. Because if you go there, then lock up him backside. Dr. Chang pointed out that the Caribbean accounts for approximately 23% of all recorded homicides, with an average homicide rate of 15.1%, 100,000 people, which is nearly 3 times the world average. You know, you hear that, people? The Jamaican National Security Minister told the hemispheric security officials that the proliferation and increased access to illegal firearms account for the high level of armed violence and insecurity within our region. So you might tell us in fear. Right here, so Horace Chang tell us in fear. There's no policy. There's no policy initiative to quench this. Dr. Chang pointed out that the firearm is the weapon of choice for committing homicide and other acts of crime and violence. In this regard, I have to underscore the need for greater collaboration and partnership to combat the scourge of the illicit trafficking of firearms. He declared, where you mix up United, WikiLeaks say, you unite, you're involved in it. This is directly linked to the steps being taken by Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts to strengthen the capacity of member states in the region to successfully detect and prevent these illegal firearms from entering our shores. The council chairman noted then you know detect the amount of drugs that are coming out, or a trailer that come with chicken and drugs. Drugs take off and leave with chicken. You know detect that? Tell me. Many other plane come land. You understand? Left off jobs. You know detect that also. These are the things that we're talking about. You're not protecting this. How many jobs under your operation, under your administration? Come on, this shows the Jamaica. I not detect that. No, that's what you're saying. You what you're saying. This is directly linked to the steps being taken by Implementation Agency for Crime and Security, impacts to strengthen the capacity of member states in the region to successfully detect and prevent these illegal firearms from entering our shores. So let me ask a question. Have you protected? We can't find out as it relates to the container. You understand? The container chicken that was float up. You understand? Where? What was in the container before? Was it only chicken in the container? No. Turn into Orisham favorite stuff. Turn into drugs trafficking. Orisham favorite stuff. Dr. Chang pointed out that the illicit trafficking in drugs through our regions operate in tandem with mechanisms supporting the legal trade. My boss himself, UNODC report that the number of new psychoactive substances emerging on illicit drug market has increased sixfold in the past decade under his administration and reached a record high of over 1,000 unique substance in 2020. Now, under Orisham administration, so Orisham about himself. Orisham informed now upon himself. See the people? See them? Orisham the informed upon himself. Take it away, let me show him, say. You understand? No hide. America know about him. Take it away, honey. Make me show the Jamaican people. Make me get really serious now with the Jamaican people and tell Jamaican people that this government, time comes, they need to go. Now, let us show you that the United States is saying out to Orisham. Now look here, you stop the hanky-punky, you think you can fool. You can fool the Jamaican people, but you can't fool us. The United States is telling Andrew Holness administration that we have the leads on you. Let me talk to Jamaican people. Remember that the Jamaican Labour Party administration, a capitalist. And the United States, right, particularly Donald Trump, capitalist, right? So let me tell you what's going on right now. Them know that he's corrupting. But, through him and to the fact that he's vulnerable, when Donald Trump asks him to do anything, he might have to jump very high. Right? Yes. So he might come out and set up something fancy and tell the news, say him not bow, but secretly, behind the curtains, what them I do behind the curtain? He bow. So then, this is the reason why we know that he bow. If he was very strong, if Andrew Holness administration was very strong in defending the Cuban doctors and nurses, why send Dr. Christopher Tufton to the Philippines? Because the other day he made a move to go to India, right, to recruit nurses in India, giving them the drips people. To recruit nurses from India, right, to take to Jamaica. And behind closed doors, behind curtains. Again, Donald Trump warned him that listen, don't bother with India. You know, but I go down to go look no nurses and doctors from India because India is on the BRICS. India is a part of the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, the original five. Don't bother go down there. You move. You understand? Because we want to make sure that the Cubans are out. Right? So go Philippines. So then, the lapdog, Christopher Tufton, and the opportunist, Benjamin, right? Yes, they are going into the Philippines now bidding for nurses and doctors. And behind closed doors, right, now is saying that, you know, the Cuban contractors, the Cuban nurses and doctors contractors are up, and they just have to go because they contract up. But obviously, they are not going to reassign them. You see the geopolitics working out here. But while telling the media that, okay, all right, and acting as if he's standing up, right? You're playing with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump serious. Donald Trump, the anti-punky with you. Donald Trump, the anti-punky with you. So Donald Trump was a good person on 10%. I said, listen, you think me not joke? Me not the playing around in politics, you know. Me serious, you know. I want the Cubans, I want the Chinese out of Jamaica. Let me tell you what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said, listen to me. You think you're politically smart and slippery, but let me tell you something about. Because we have a plan, you know. And nobody make a rule out this. But me I will give you a warning. Me I stop with 10%, pay for yourself, and do what you need to do, and do it fast. No, go India. We don't want to nurse for India, you know, because India is a part of the BRICS.
Yeah.
Bring the Philippines. And so then the lapdog, the jelly back. Bow! Ghana, Philippines. What on now, people? I'm going to show you now. So then the United States show Andrew Holness that this is don't play with me. Because we want them out of Jamaica, we want the Chinese out of the backyard.
That's right. Amen.
And if you think a joke me, make sure you say no joke me. Next document. Boy, the way this program is so sweet and so nice. Yeah, I get confused by the program.
That's okay.
So, yes. I mean, I don't want to confuse wife, you know, and a wife, I get confused. I get confused the way the program is so nice and sweet. So Donald Trump said, let me show you something, and let me show the Jamaican people a little hint. Because I'm going to deal with you accordingly. You hear that? So Donald Trump take time and dash out the secret. See the people? Jamaica struggle to tackle money laundering amid corruption, resource shortfall, U.S. report. So U.S. are telling him, say, hey, I don't know the game where you are playing, but me tell you, say, make the Cuban doctors and the nurses them leave. And me want China. Oh, me don't know how you're going to do it, you know. Me don't know how you're going to do it, you know. But me say me want the China. Me want the Chinese them. Me say me want China. Me want the Chinese them. Out. Now watch out. See the paper? Saturday, April 5th, 2025. People don't think I joke me, man. I don't joke this, you know. This is very serious, you know. Jamaica effort to combat money laundering are being undermined by severe resource constraint and systemic corruption. So United States, I say, yes, it's systemic. The corruption is systemic. You understand? From the government, from the POJ, everybody who would want to involve, who would want to wrap up in it. So United States, I make them know, you know. According to the latest International Narcotics Control Strategy reports from the U.S. State Department, people see them in our lives, see the evidence there.
Judgment.
Jamaica's efforts to combat money laundering are being undermined. So United States, that's how we know about the money laundering.
Yep.
We know about the $470 million that Andrew Holness ring through so many accounts. We know that some of them money they touch the Swiss system.
Yep.
The United States, I tell them, say, we know that direct bars went to Mexico and collect money.
Kickback.
Kickback money.
Yeah.
So United States, I say, we have all of them something about it, you know.
Yep.
People, I want you to come back to me and say, but they show you and break it down for you. And United, Donald Trump, I tell them, say, listen, I'm serious, you know. I'm meaning Donald Trump, my head not good enough. Remember, say, my head not good enough.
You remember say over 24 charges me in face I'm in a ramp, you know. What are they? The report identified organized criminal network. Want to hear that paper? Hold on. And a Jamaica local news, this in a people. And a Jamaica local news. And a mainstream media, they say them or something, you know. Because mainstream media can't talk like this, you know. Because if mainstream media talk like this, Andrew want to suppress them. Andrew want to have the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation. You understand? Online portfolio. So no mainstream media can't talk like this, you know.
That's right.
So this is what I want to say. Here now. The report identified organized criminal network, some with ties to influential Jamaicans.
Yeah. Big
that
boys.
Involved in the parliament and the PFO chain. What's up? They don't want me to talk. Try it back on him because me and them tonight.
Mighty God. Judgment. Judgment.
Me and them tonight.
What in heaven's name?
Well, someone that will show up for ease the stress. Yeah, get the back on it. Because when we have beat them outside of distortion, we come into the place. So find by the clip. Let me juggle upon them. Then I jump and tell him, say, listen me, and then I'm plating me in there. Say, me sure, say, me serious. We're at 10%, yeah. You were at 10% tariff, yeah. And if we not see changes, serious changes by X time, you know. Yeah. They're going to deal with the case. If we not see certain changes and seriousness, so we show you what the American system have, right? And Jamaica. And the Alan Bernard versus Earthstrap. Right? So it is very serious.
Yeah.
Where that is concerned.
Definitely.
Right? And so then, what the United States is doing is definitely now applying, right, serious pressure.
Yeah.
Right? And we want people to understand it. We don't want the people them, you understand? So the United States has said, yeah, we know your level of criminality.
Yeah.
You understand? Not because we are not saying anything. But United States have that now as a bargaining chip for this time.
Yeah. Pressure must fight.
Let's talk geopolitics now. Right? We could get into it. Jamaica, all right, we could get into it. According to the answer, the illicit proceeds fuel Jamaica's underground economy are largely generated from narcotics.
Yeah.
And weapons trafficking.
Mighty God.
Or a strong way there.
Judgment.
Cybercrime, financial fraud scheme, extortion and corruption.
Mighty God.
And so then when the United States speak of corruption, well, who do you think the United States addressing? Members of Parliament under the Andrew Holness led administration, where the corruption is concerned. Many of these crimes, the report noted, specifically target United States citizens. See the United States now they blame him, then I jump and blame him. You understand? They all of them something here in terms of what they are doing now target United States citizens, particularly through fraud and lottery scams, aim at elderly victims, everything I get mixed up, you know. Then I jump and dash out the bathwater, you know, with the baby, you know.
I read them file.
The State Department also flagged significant cross-border criminal activity, including the trafficking of small arms and drugs between Jamaica, the United States, Central America, Europe, and Haiti as a major source of illegal wealth. No, here are no people. In 2024 alone, this now have nothing to do with 2012 to 2016, you know, when Mama P are ruling. In 2024 alone, you know, Last year, no people, Jamaica faced a wave of financial crimes. You know, you hear that, people? From lateral scamming and corruption to counterfeit goods and cybercrime. They're not seeing it? Okay, we need to share the document.
Sorry.
Because we don't want people to believe so we are read something and we are make it up. Right? So we are showing the Jamaican people this. Let me read to. The State Department also flagged significant cross-border criminal activity in people, including the trafficking of small arms and drugs between Jamaica, the United States and Central America, Europe, and Haiti as a major source of illegal wealth. You hear them something, people? Well, I'm going to go back up after people. I'm going to go back up after. I mean, if you call out two persons, you know, I mean, I'll ramp and I call them out.
Read out them files. What do you mean?
The State Department also flagged significant cross-border criminal activity, including trafficking of small arms and drugs between Jamaica, United States, Central America, Europe, and Haiti as a major source of illegal wealth. Darrell Valls and James Roberts soon come in front of the line. Darrell Valls and James Roberts soon come in front of the line, yeah. Right? In 2024 alone, Jamaica faced a wave of financial crime from lateral scamming and corruption to counterfeit goods and cybercrime. Yet, according to the Financial Investigation Division, only 83 staff members were in place as of October 2024. You understand? Far below the division target of 230. I'm going to show the people what this is saying. What the United States is reporting is that Andrew Holness administration deliberately understaffed so that their corruption can continue.
My God.
In 2024 alone, Jamaica faced a wave of financial crimes, from the lateral scamming and corruption to counterfeit goods and cybercrime. Here what United States is saying. Yet, according to the Financial Investigation Division, right, so the FIS them report this. Here what FIS is saying now, and where the United States pick up this. Only 83 staff members were in place as of October 2024, far below the division target of 230 personnel. So the Jamaica Labour Party administration is ensuring that the FID being understaffed.
My God.
And so then they cannot cope with the high level of criminality because they don't have the manpower. So I am telling you, Jamaica, that the United States have the information where this is concerned. And when you look at this administration, if this administration want to have transparency, want to not be a part of the corruption, why you only have 83 staff members in FID when it is showing you that the manpower that needed to run the division effectively should be 230 personnel. More people to understand that part. Right? The FID did not respond to requests from the Gleaner for a comment on these staff figures. From January to October 2024, the FID reported 11 prosecutions and 8 convictions for financial crimes, alongside the seizure of millions of dollars in criminal assets. People want to know this. The report also acknowledged Jamaica continued cooperation with the U.S. in extraditing lateral scammers, many of whom target American seniors. While the U.S. recognized Jamaica increased enforcement of the Proceed of Crime Act, right, and noted steady gains in convictions and asset forfeitures, it emphasized that prosecutorial challenges persist. I remember read back that over him. United States has said you failed. This report is saying you failed, Paula Llewellyn. But I read it to make the people understand it. Why the United States recognize to make an increased enforcement of the Proceed of Crime Act and noted steady gains in convictions and asset forfeitures, it emphasized that prosecutorial challenges persist. Here why prosecutorial challenges exist. If you have Patrick Bailey, right, where a man died in Patrick Bailey's house, and you don't have any forced entry, it was only Patrick Bailey and Jermaine in the house. Evidence collected that it is Patrick Bailey knives, kitchen knife, used to inflict several stab wounds on Jermaine, plus a bullet wound to the forehead. The prosecutor, Paula Llewellyn, as we speak today, my people, has not interrogated Patrick Bailey. Because Patrick Bailey came out and knocked him back in and said him back big and broad like chop shutter. Nobody can touch him. And why nobody can touch him? Patrick Bailey, right, was once the lawyer for Andrew Holness and who? James Robertson. James Robertson. So I want you to look, and when the United States talking about systemic crime, United States know. Yep. So when we look at this, what the United States is saying here, it emphasizes that prosecutorial challenges persist because Paula Llewellyn is there. And from once Paula Llewellyn is there, prosecutorial challenges are going to be exist. These includes underfunding law enforcement agencies and judicial system stretched thin. And also with Paula Llewellyn utilizing statute of limitation for many of these cases. Financial crimes are often plea bargain. Our prosecutors focus on predicate offenses to secure convictions. When you hear that, people? The report said, noting that money laundering charges are sometimes dropped in the exchange of guilty pleas and related crimes, though asset recovery might still be pursued. When you hear that, people? When you hear that, people? I don't be asking them things I know, people. I don't be asking them things I know. Financial crimes are often plea bargain. When you hear that? Our prosecutors focus on predicate offenses to secure convictions. The report said, noting that money laundering charges are sometimes dropped in exchange for guilty pleas and related crimes, though asset recovery might still be pursued. Despite these hurdles, the report acknowledges some progress. In 2020, Jamaica made a high-level commitment to the Financial Action Task Force. But under Andrew Holness, my people, take this away on it. When Andrew Holness promised, right, that when he's going to fix road, he's going to ensure that you have drainage, proper pipe. Don't believe anything that Andrew Holness
That's right.
said about his mouth. The only time that Andrew Holness would have spoken any truth is when he's not speaking. From the moment Andrew Holness opened his mouth, be guaranteed a lie is forthcoming. Yeah. Andrew Holness is the author of Conway. He's a deceiver. He is based above Satan, right hand angel. He's on the right side of Satan.
Yeah.
He's a deceiver to the Jamaican people.
Bro devil.
Don't believe nothing what Andrew Holness stated out of his mouth. Warning. What say you, Pastor Ricky? Come in.
Well said, Sir Byron. You deserve an Oscar for that one. Big up yourself. Listen, I was talking to someone today in Chang's constituents, but they are a supporter of my comrade brother Alan, and they were telling me all the wonderful things is going on for comrade Alan, and they're predicting Chang is going to lose the seat.
Of course.
But you know, rumor has it, and I am not 100% sure of this. So this is one of the times when I would say allege, because I don't know. I don't always use allege because I speak from facts and truth. But it's alleged that Rubio told him in the meeting that Chang should not be in the meeting because of his criminality that's involved with gangs, money laundering, and drug trafficking and gun trafficking. That's in WikiLeaks. Everybody knows about that. So as it relates to Chang, he's going to lose his seat, and he's a criminal. He should not be in government. It's sad, my fellow Jamaicans, that you have a prime minister who's compromised and is a subject for blackmail and is before the courts and is identified by the Integrity Commission, a body of real Jamaicans that is laboring day and night to wipe out corruption and criminality out of government, that is commissioned by Parliament under an act, constitutionally speaking, that he was found in breach of the law according to them. The prime minister is a criminal. The deputy prime minister is a criminal. Both of them should not be in government. Both of them should be in prison. And I want to say this with all authority that God has given me. When this criminal prime minister leave office and Chang, the deputy prime minister, they're going to be the first prime minister and deputy prime minister to go to prison. Chang cannot even fly out of Jamaica. When was the last time Chang left Jamaica? He can't fly. Uncle Sam got intercept any plane him depon and lock him up. And that report that you just read from the International Narcotics Strategy Report, it reveals that the State Department of them files.
Exactly.
So all the prime minister there at Jamaica, them little diminished self because they have no jurisdiction outside of Jamaica. What him need for understand, say, he's not above the law. Uncle Sam have him file. Them flag Jamaica for say them can't tackle money laundering. The prime minister, Satan is the father of lies, as Jesus says in the Gospels. But the prime minister is the godfather of lies in Jamaica. Like you said, Sir Byron, him can't tell the truth. Him sit at the right hand of Satan. Just like Jesus sit at the right hand of God the Father. The prime minister sit at the right hand of Satan. And him cannot tell the truth. Even if it got cast in the election, him have to lie for try to win, which he's not going to win. But back to the report. So the report identified drugs trafficking, gun trafficking, and we know there's two other men from the Eastern Parish that were involved in a drugs trafficking and money laundering. It's evident, it's public knowledge. Everybody know that. The entire Jamaica Labour Party is a transnational organized crime syndicate in Jamaica. That this party, when they lose in a landslide defeat in the upcoming general election, the Jamaica Labour Party should be dismantled and never allowed to be in representative politics ever, ever, ever again. The CIA unclassified report document speaks volume that the Jamaica Labour Party aligned themselves with a criminal organization, money laundering, drug trafficking, gun trafficking, and is responsible for unaliving thousands of people from West Kingston in Jamaica, all over Jamaica, England, Canada, and the United States of America. Listen, no matter how the prime minister act like him tough, he's weak. Him not have
Tell
no
you that.
spinal cord. Him not have no backbone. Him lack testicular fortitude. Him have no strength because he's compromised. Him just come out and play that role in front of the cameras so everybody can think that he's a strong man. He's a weak man. When him leave office, a straight up prison him gone. Third term, no third term. Prison term is what loading for him and Chang and the rest of them cronies them. Because you know what Uncle Sam I got him. I'm gonna tell you how the feds work. Them I go grab the Prime Minister and Chang and flip them. When I say flip, them I gonna make them sing like bird. Cause when Uncle Sam hold on upon you have to tell them what them want here. And like the report showed, them I gonna present some plea bargain. You're gonna get time, Prime Minister. But you might not get as much years as we want to forget, like 50 years. But you're gonna get time. But them are gonna make you tell and give up everybody in your criminal organization party at inner Jamaica who's involved in drugs trafficking, gun trafficking, money laundering, human trafficking. I'm gonna tell you something. Uncle Sam, that report that we read out is from the State Department. It's not from TVJ, CVM, RJR, IRI FM. It's from the United States government. So if them have, I'm gonna tell you, the United States have satellite in the sky that picks up imageries. Every drug that comes into Jamaica from the Colombia area, Mexico and Nicaragua and all them places there, Panama to the canal, come to Jamaica. They know. Them just track of a shipment of coke coming into Jamaica that them said them find the same day when Rubio land 2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Yes,
the container that it came with into Jamaica, I believe at the same container with the chicken them.
yes.
It's the same container them coke that come in at the $3.1 billion worth of coke coming in that container there. The container was in the wharf, and them because them lose the 15 parish, them go dump it in a St. Catherine on the sun. Listen, no wave, no current is so strong that's gonna push a container out of the sea on top of the sun, on the shore side, on the sun. I see go back and look at the video where the container rests. People walk into it on the sand. No wave not that strong for push that upon the sea. It would have a little bit out from the shoreline if it was truly by a wave. That was dropped there, delivered there for purpose. Nobody not a fool. Why you think the police commissioner quiet? Chang, the national security, quiet. The criminal prime minister, quiet. The minister of transportation, quiet. Why you think them all quiet? It's part of the bus for them find out 2 weeks ago. And that go on in Jamaica. So when you see that report the way you just read out, Uncle Sam said them know about drug trafficking, money laundering, arms trafficking, human trafficking, and them know about the lottery scamming where scam US citizens, senior citizens. So when them outline them thing there, you say Uncle Sam have spy satellite. Them take imageries and them take photographs, and it goes back into a bunker in one of those US military bases in America. I won't call the name for security purposes. Uncle Sam have drone technology and listening technology device. So them can pick up your conversation in our building. Them can pick up your conversation upon your cell phone. Them can pick up your conversation upon your satellite phone. The Prime Minister have nowhere to run or nowhere to hide but resign from office because he's compromised. He's a criminal. He's not fit for being Prime Minister. He's not fit for being an MP. He's not fit for leading a country. A prison him fit for God. And him compromised to the point where he's a subject for blackmail. Sir Byron, that's why he had to sell out and bow to Trump and leg of the Cuban doctor them where they're Jamaica for how many years? From in the 70s, I perform all kind of surgeries and I help millions of Jamaica through the years. Cuban doctors. And him bow and sell them out. Now them gone to Philippines to go get doctors. no disrespect to the Philippines, but the Philippine doctors are not as astute, so to speak, as the Cuban specialists them. This is a great degrading of the Jamaica healthcare system right now. That's why my command in my heart will be the greatest prime minister in the history of Jamaica. One who stood up to the United States of America back in the 70s and said, nah, bow, him not walk on him foot and him not crawl upon the knees and him not give up him relationship with Cuba and the Cuban people them, or Fidel Castro. And him now bow when it come to apartheid in South Africa. Him stood with Nelson Mandela them in a prison and the black people them in Soweto, South Africa, were fight against the colonials and the Europeans them. This week, Prime Minister, what we have in Jamaica, sell out for keeping visas so him could have come to Florida Friday gone. Imagine the health of people that is a matter of life and death for saving lives. Him traded for a US visa for continue for travel. But remember tell him this, last point. When him leave office, the next time him come to America, when him leave office, I prison them. You see what they did to the premier of the British Virgin Island. His name is Andrew Foyet or something like that. And 11.5 years him at the right now in a federal prison in America because he was involved in drugs trafficking and money laundering. And what the US do? Invite him come to Florida. It's public knowledge. It's in the papers. And as soon as him come off of the plane, them bangle him up. I prison him there right now. Colombians, they are prisoned. Mexicans, they are, everybody who do illicit drug trafficking, I prison them there when Uncle Sam sent for them. So this prime minister is going to be the first prime minister to go to prison along with Chang. Chang is a criminal. The prime minister is a criminal. Neither one of them is qualified for representative politics. And it's time the Jamaica people wake up for no say a prime minister sell them out. Sell out him country for have a visa for travel to America. The same country we're going to prosecute him sell out a visa for. Back over to you.
Blessing, powerful input from Pastor Ricky. But Pastor Ricky, where we are heading now, we are heading into the valley of death, and we fear no evil.
But the valley of the shadows.
In the next presentation that we are going to show Jamaica as it relates to one of Jamaica affiliates who back the Jamaica Labour Party through the means of violence, through the means of drugs runnings. But obviously are taking a plea. And we know, Pastor Ricky, how the United States judiciary work.
Yeah.
If you have to plea, you have to sell out someone who is on a higher tier than where you are concerned.
Yeah, them flip them. Yeah, same thing.
So then you have to flip this person for this person to flip persons who are higher tier. We ask the question, who this person flipped? The document that I'm going to present tonight should tell the Jamaica Labour Party that their walls that surround them had been penetrated already by this person. Yes, it's not mystic sensation. It's just a document that revealing the facts without any delay. Let us live up this and let the Jamaicans go and shot. But it is true. Facts. Now, let us get into it. Support. Support. Let us get into this. Let us get into this and this. So, obviously, we know that the United States have material evidence, strong material evidence from one of the persons that been flipped, bargaining as it relates to his sentence.
Let us look at that. Let us look at that. Right? Let us look at that. So we are going to show this as it relates to the information where, yeah, this person has definitely flipped. But who did this person stole up? Right? That is the question. And we are going to show it tonight. I'll share it. Now, let us look, people, and what we are going to bring up. I want people to pay keen attention. I'm just saying that as it relates to the evidence that we have here, this person has flipped. The United States has flipped this person. Yep. Now, support for DISCAIMER still strong in Jamaica. This is from the 19th of March, 2012. You know. I want people to bear the date and the time and notice this information. As the case against DISCAIMER drags on, with his sentencing delayed for the fourth time, reactions from Jamaica give an insight into the complex nature of the power wielded by him and other crime dons. People, I want you to pay attention to this particular document. After a long struggle to capture Christopher DISCAIMER, the Jamaican drug boss was extradited to the United States in June 2010. He made a deal with the authorities.
Plea bargain.
Let us go back in, people. Let us go back in. I know me, I said this, you know. I know Mystic Sensation, I said this, you know. I know Pastor Ricky, I said this, you know. These are documents and the evidence that we have. After a long struggle to capture Christopher DISCAIMER, the Jamaican drug boss was extradited to the US in June 2010. He made a deal with the authorities, pleaded guilty to drug trafficking and assault charges in August, avoiding a possible life sentence. So, what was the deal about? Because it was life sentence, right? That Pharaoh placed against you on a tablet. So it was life sentence that Pharaoh placed against you, placed on the altar. So let us look. The prosecution asked for him to be given the maximum sentence of 23 years, arguing that he had committed horrifically violent acts, including cutting one victim to pieces with a chainsaw. People, I want you to understand, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party administration, the association with somebody who identified worse than the Chainsaw Massacre. On Friday, however, a New York judge ruled that prosecutors needed to produce more evidence to back their claims. There will be another hearing in May, with sentencing to follow on a later date, reported Reuters. The news was greeted with euphoria by court supporters outside the court, with relatives and friends telling reporters that their delay was due to divine intervention. There is still support and sympathy for Coke from some in Tivoli Gardens, the territory in West Kingston, where his show Posse Gang is based. A Jamaica Gleaner video report before the sentencing shows the resident professing support for the jail gang boss and calling on the judge for leniency, arguing that he had done good things for the people in the community, but simultaneously vicious to others. Now, one resident said that Coke had only committed his crimes in order to get money to help local people. You hear that, people? You hear the justification there? No wonder why every time you have some of them come over here, sir, you know, and attack in my chat. The only we type of people, they do everything for much of Jamaica. Boy, ask the fool there in my chat, you know. If me and Pastor Ricky did tell Andrew Holness to join SSL, nobody going to go further.
Don't get this.
But me just left you alone, you know, because me see say you walk on fear bird, you know, so I don't have no time to answer you, you know. Yeah, but we see in the chat. One resident said that Coke had only committed his crimes in order to get money to help local people. You and them, you are one of them in the chat. This is your mentality. You understand, to say that Coke committed crimes to get money to help local people? The newspaper reported that many Coke supporters did not wish to be framed. Of course, they have to hide. You don't know corruption. And so much of fear and reprisal from the police. The Associated Press spoke to Kingston locals who said the area was far less safe than when the drug lord ruled over it. You understand? And called for his return. Now, remember, is this man called the failure of Bruce Golding? You know? More people if you understand what we're the point tonight, you know. The money what we are read about. Him caused the fall of Bruce Golding. You know. A group of residents signed a petition that was submitted to the judge. Want to hear that, people? Under fear, them do it. Listing Coke's good deeds in the community and appealing for leniency. Good deeds. Good deeds when you chainsaw people. Tell me, good deeds when you chainsaw multiple people. One of the arguments made by the prosecution was that public demonstration in Kingston in support of Coke showed that there was a danger he would return to Jamaica and continue his criminal activities if he was not given the longest possible sentence. There were fears that the sentencing could spark protests in the city. And on Friday, police imposed tight security measures in West Kingston, including curfews in some areas. Let me ask Jamaican people something. Right here. Do you understand what the Jamaican Labour Party is about?
My God.
Do you want to associate yourself with the Jamaican Labour Party? The Jamaican Labour Party has nothing to do as it relates to good governance. My Jamaican people, I forgive you tonight. Because, of course, you are getting here to be aware of what you had done 2016 and 2020. A 21% minority. I put this man in government. So then,
Government by default.
He's a government by default. 39% of the people did not vote for Andrew Holness. Jamaican people, I want you to wake up with the knowledge that I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Andrew Holness is a 21% minority government.
That's right.
Simply means the majority of Jamaican people rejected him.
That's right. Amen.
He has been rejected.
That's why I'm behaving so too.
And that is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness is behaving like that, because he knows very well that the Jamaican people rejected him. So he unleashed retribution upon his people. He unleashed the poison on the people because he knows very well that the Jamaican people is not with him. It's criminal network. Amen, Pastor Ricky.
Amen. You know, Sir Byron.
Yes.
Let me just say, Father, forgive those JLP supporters and government, for they know not what they have done to the Jamaican people.
Well, hear me, Pastor Ricky, and let me say this. When we are talking, we are not identifying JLP and PNP. We are speaking Jamaica. And so then I am speaking to JLP, I am speaking to PNP. But I am saying for the goodwill of the country,
yeah,
you cannot affiliate or associate with a criminal network.
My God.
It is to the scope who brought down Bruce Coley. The evidence is here. It is clear. It is to the scope. Activities of illegalities, drug running that strengthened Bruce Coley campaign.
Yeah.
It is to the scope who campaign and put Bruce Coley in power. I want Jamaican people to understand where we are going tonight.
And the Prime Minister is going to bring down him own self with criminality.
Okay. A group of residents signed a petition. No, I know where the petition ago. That was submitted to the judge. The judge should have put up that thing that out the door. Listing court's good deeds in the community and appealing for leniency. Remember, you know, them people have to force to do it, you know, because if they don't do it, you know, I worries, you know. One of the arguments made by the prosecution was that the public demonstrations in Kingston in support of Cook showed that there was a danger he would return to Jamaica and continue his criminal activities if he was not given the longest possible sentence. There were fears that the sentencing could spark protests in the city. And on Friday, police imposed tight security measures in West Kingston, including curfews in some areas. In another sign of the popular support for Coke, one of the Jamaica's most popular singers, Kingston-based reggae artist Horace Andy, wrote a laudatory song about Coke for his forthcoming album, referring to the crime boss by his nickname of Prezi for president. Dudus, we know your rule. Prezi, yeah. Prezi, we miss you. Things not calm since you're gone. The people them now live right. Every day, them are fuss and fight. These responses to Coke's case are a sign of the complex nature of the power he wielded, which is closely tied to politics. Which is closely tied to politics. As a recent Center and International Cooperation report sets out, Jamaican dons like Coke are used by political class to exert control over poor neighborhoods such as Tivoli Gardens. They receive protection and funds from the government in exchange for making sure the area votes the right way in elections. Now let us ask a question. That's why up until now, Tivoli Gardens, people who live in that region, being suppressed and oppressed,
Shantytown, yeah,
have to vote Jamaica Labour Party and forced to. And if they don't, they have to pack up and leave. And in some instances, they may face death. In some areas, these young bosses take over the functions of the state on the other people, holding a monopoly over violence and providing security and services to local people. The Jamaica Labour Party administration allowed this behavior, tolerated this behavior, and so that we can see Desmond Mackenzie can say, oh yes, I have no shame. The Prime Minister, yes, box me up from time to time and kick me in my bottom. But I have no shame in it. Because, you know, he taught me a good lesson. Now, if me and son Me shame of this father. You know to my father, they take back up and kick up. You understand what I'm saying? People, you understand what I'm saying here? That Desmond Mackenzie, under these circumstances of badmanism, right? Violate. That Desmond Mackenzie could have taken regular box up and kick up and gone on Big Mama station and say he's proud of it. No, which man could have boxed me up and kicked me up and me say me proud of it? Pastor Ricky, that could happen to you?
You're mad.
Talk to me now.
You're mad. That would never happen in the voice. You're mad. Now stop.
So then what sort of example does man Mackenzie setting that he endorsed badmanism and he loves to be boxed up and kicked up because they receive protection and funds from the government in exchange for making sure the era votes the right way in election. In some areas, these gang bosses take over the functions of the state, holding a monopoly over violence and providing security and services to local people. Cook reportedly helped poor people in his Tivoli Gardens and killed many with chainsaw. Neighborhood to pay for food and school fees, throwing Christmas parties and keeping streets clean, while keeping the authorities out. Prosecutors in the case asserted that because Cook's heavily armed soldiers patrol the Tivoli Gardens community, it was largely close to Jamaica law enforcement. The U.S. indictment against Cook, meanwhile, described the area as a garrison community, a barricade neighborhood guarded by a group of armed gunmen. Take that away. Now, let me talk to my Jamaican people. Consider all that you are just absorbed. Ask yourself the question: have you ever seen this demonstrated as it relates to the People's National Party, as it relates to any of the Prime Minister pertaining to the People's National Party? Have you ever seen any signs, any indications of that? Then why it is that the United States, who is a capitalist, and the Jamaica Labour Party, that is a capitalist, is identifying these things about the Jamaica Labour Party, even although the Jamaica Labour Party is a capitalist, but yet, from the onset of democratic socialism, forward movement of good governance, education to the people, Michael Manley, Norman Manley, Michael Manley, P.J. Patterson, Portia Simpson, had never, passing down to Mark Gordon, had never highlighted such association with the level of criminality. If you do the research, and I'm going to do the research for you, my people, to show you that under the Jamaica Labour Party, although I'm talking, right, pre the research. Earlier today, I was talking to Pastor Ricky, and I said to Pastor Ricky, I am going to do a detailed research as it relates to the amount of drugs operation, right, that conducted under the Jamaica Labour Party, right, and research what happened as it relates to the People's National Party, right? And so then we promise to take that to the people, right, on my next hearing, which will be, Friday. Of course, Friday. We want to show Jamaican people that the People's National Party, democratic socialism, is a party that builds on principle.
Yes.
Moral compass,
Yes. Amen.
ethical regards.
Yes.
Now, for persons who are in the chat who claim that we are destroying Jamaica, we did not tell the Prime Minister and his counterparts, criminal counterparts, to engage in drugs operation, transnational crime. We did not tell them to join SSL. We did not tell Andrew Holness to influence contract to govern. And so then anyone who needs to protect Jamaica credibility is Andrew Holness. Why not call upon Andrew Holness to protect Jamaica credibility? Because Jamaica credibility had gone. Majority of the Caribbean leaders in the Caribbean don't respect Andrew Holness. And so then they're in a state that Andrew feels that he's so emboldened that in spite of his corruption, he's going to run for the general election. He has no shame. He's shameless. He's despicable to know all of what he had done. Someone who has the blatant, despicableness of the devil. Knowing to stop that him and Mark Traskery enjoy Bolt money and in the same breath sending condolences to Bolt father.
My God.
Do you want vicious than that? Do we want it to get any vicious, more vicious than that?
Bolt shouldn't invite him to the funeral, you know. No.
That man to send Bolt's father to his grave. Make him come out and deny. Make him come out and deny. Make him come out and deny. Mark Traskery set up an advert account in St. Lucia for Andrew Holness. This is the man that we are talking about. This is the man who claimed that you respect black people. And you and Mark Traskery trick the black man and take away money. Am I lying, Pastor Vicky? Coming in same time.
No, you're right. I mean, him liar, former liar Patrick Bailey says, well, we know the criminal prime minister joined SSL in 2008. I mean, we have him files. There's no doubt about that. And we know in 2011, him get a payout from SSL for buy the land where him live now on the property where him built. And we know in 2012, him also get another payout because after him buy the land, him did broke. And 2012, him get another payout from SSL. We know that's a fact for true. And we know in 2008 when him joined SSL, it was not on the stock market. So there's no way him could have claimed, say, them take out stocks in him buy a bond in 2008 and it mature and give him an yield of 143,000 in 2021. So what about the money him getting at 2011 from SSL? What about the money him getting at 2012? And furthermore, the SSL never got on the stock market after they were flagged in 2012, 2013 by Mama P administration. SSL was not put on the stock market till 2018 under this criminal prime minister administration that him violate what FIDS had said and FSC had said and Mama P administration had said. And Nigel Clark at the time was on the board of NHT. And so the criminal minds went to work and through a reverse takeover of C2W Music, then put SSL on the stock market in 2018, long before them. So I him bring down Jamaica. The Jamaica Corruption Perception Index record that Jamaica have lost 4 points. The report come out in February. It was at 44 points, which is still low because 50 is the threshold for countries that are most corrupt in the world. And so now from 44 points to 40 points as a result of the SSL scandal. The Ponzi scheme was steal 31 million US dollars, and the NHT and NIS, NHF, and Banana Board funds that them put in at SSL, that the people that put money into NHT, NIS, NHF, and the Banana Board, the farmers, they didn't give the Prime Minister any authority or authorization to put their money. Them are put money in the NHT for help towards their home purchase. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
anyhow, when I'll get distracted by them people they in the chat, because them not have the facts and them not have the truth. But here what I want to say right now. It appears, let's start from Siaga, GLP prime ministers. At first, the US embraced them because them didn't embrace Siaga for try to overthrow the greatest prime minister, Michael Manley, in Jamaica, who laid the foundation for the Jamaica we have today. No doubt about that. But if you realize in the late 80s, the US government turned from Siaga and turned them back on him. Then when you look at Bruce Golding, even though America embraced him, them turned them back on him and forced him to resign. And the same thing with the prime minister you know. Yes, it might have been embraced by the US, but now Trump have him on the manners and him have to jump, skip, up, spin when Trump tell him to do it. Him can't say no. And it's a matter of time now before Trump turn him back on him. As a matter of fact, I believe Trump already turned him back on him. Them just use him for carry out America's interest, because really and truly America does not have any friend outside of the United Kingdom. America have interests around the world. The currency of the US dollars is an interest. National security is an interest. Economical stability is an interest. And there's other interests, military interests, as it relates to weapons of proliferations. America have them interests. And so they govern based upon their interests. So this prime minister who I talk about, Rubio, is his friend. Rubio is not your friend. Rubio worked for Trump. And Rubio is an ambassador when he travels outside of the shores of the United States. And he have to speak on the behalf of the government of the United States. So people of Jamaica want to get that out on the head. Now, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, when you hear them talk about shower labor right, a violence them are glorifying, because the shower posse who built them reputation upon using Uzi and M1 and all kind of submachine gun for spray bullets from people and kill them. So when that's how them get the name shower, because that's how them. So when you hear them talk about shower labor right, a crime and violence and wickedness and evil, them are glorified in that breath when them say shower labor right. The Jamaica Labour Party, according to the CIA unclassified documents, which I just said a few minutes ago, is aligned with the shower posse that come out of Jamaica. So when you see them shower posse boss get extradited, and the report you just read said that he made a deal, meaning that they flip him. They must give up information on top of information on top of information to save him from dying in prison like him father. In a US prison would have died. They would have make him rot in a prison and die. But in plea with them work out a plea deal, a plea bargain, and him give up tons of information. That's why I'm even thinking 2029 when in February when I'm supposed to get released. Boy, I better go another island down to Jamaica.
Tell them to keep you.
I don't know him, but I advise him don't go back to Jamaica. The people them where you give up, them are gonna be after if them not their prison by then. Well, them people might come after you, cause them are gonna their prison, but would advise enough to go back to Jamaica. But anyhow, so we are dealing with a party, a political party that is built their reputation on crimes and criminality. And the prime minister, who's the godfather of lies, aka Bro Devil, the son of the devil, he is the leader of the gang. And when you see all of this stuff in the IC report, when you see all of his crimes from ADMAT in St. Lucia, when you see him liquidate ADMAT in 2021 and establish 3 other companies in the height of COVID, past $473 million through different bank accounts. When you see him have a U.S. Citibank bank account, I'm sorry, him have a Citibank account with 73,000 US dollars in it. When you see him have another Citibank account with $67,000 in it. When you see him have another $51,000 in another Citibank account, and 3 companies have $473 million. What he does in lawful income at the time does not afford him. When you see him take 34,000 US from a charity, where him solicit money from taxpayers in America and take that money and buy a bond, a US bond for himself, and hide it for 4 years and did not say a word and did not put the money back and thief taxpayers' money from the US and buy a US bond. He's a criminal. That's if him in America, straight to prison him gone. Thief charity money and buy a bond. I mean, it would have been good if him use him own money, but him take the charity money, donors fund from America, him take it and buy a bond. Oh, if I have a prime minister like this as the head of the country, and you wonder why so much crime are going on in Jamaica. Listen, like we say in church, if the head not right, it will go trickle down to the body. So him not right, him have questionable character, him is a criminal, him should be at prison, and this is why crime is out of control. One last point. If him thinks that the US are going to lift the travel ban because him give them some fake numbers, because you know the number them don't record all of the crime statistics categories. There's 4 or 5 different categories that they don't record every year. So if you believe him can use this fake under the value crime statistic number to say crime is down, listen, the US have him filed. You just show apartheid. And so him are the chief criminal in Jamaica, and until he move and leave out of office, get prosecuted along with his cronies, then them are gonna keep the crime, them are keep the travel advisory in place, because him are focused on gangs and youth in the street while the US are focused on him and him government. So how them are gonna lift the crime, that travel advisory, when them are transport all kind of narcotics and guns in Jamaica? I can't wait for the thing come out Friday night, because Bascobel in a St. Mary, a whole heap of the white powder them find. Nobody no get lock-up fee. In a St. Andrew, them lock up 2 seniors and say them responsible for the white powder what them find in our constituency for another JLP man last year. Another finding in a St. Andrew. Another finding them find on a boat in a Portland with a white lady and some weed. And then last 2 weeks ago, them find another find. I mean, come on. Who you think I run them things there? Get a youth now have access for able for transport them things there in Jamaica. Nobody on a fool. So when him I got to Rubio in our press conference, I quote numbers about crime is down and we are able to bring reduction. Listen, man, America have him file a prison him ago. Remember what Uncle Sam na rap. We know how Uncle Sam operate because we see them for years.
Yes.
Them come against the Gambino family. Them take down the mafia them. This is the RICO law where America have a bust organized crime. Jamaica needs something like that, because what we're looking at in Jamaica is organized crime from the highest level, and the prime minister is guilty, and him can't deceive none of us because we have him filed. We know enough things about him when I say he's not supposed to be in an office. People of Jamaica don't vote for him government, run them out of office, and them are oppressed Jamaica. That's why Jamaica right now is in a recession. The man is so wicked and evil that every government has sound the alarm about recession and I prepare them people. Even me, I represent CARICOM. And this country's been in a recession from last year. and him not say nothing. He might talk about economy resilient, and it can yam, and it can't eat. Like him think people now have no sense. Listen, people are fact check him in real time. Every time him speak, fact check him immediately at the tip of a phone, at the click of a mouse. I mean, fact check him by your laptop, your iPad, everything. I fact check him in real time. So him not realize him are living at the analog age, like my comrade brother said. Him not living at the digital age, where information is at the tip of a finger.
He's what we call a political dinosaur.
Amen. No doubt about that. Yeah, so you know, the party are diminished. As you said, them win off at 21% of the population. Because in 2020, work up a scheme. Him call the election 5 months before it was constitutionally due. It wasn't due till February 2021. But him see an opening in September 2020 because of the COVID scare. And then him feel like we are divided. And him call an election. And so him I look for another opportunity right now because him can't call the election. Him afraid like puss because him know him a go lose. Him know him party a go lose. Listen, Jamaica Labour Party supporter, the Prime Minister bring down on the party. Him is a drag on the party. Him have a rope on the neck on the party. And him a sink on the party because him have too much baggage for a leader. Him have too much baggage to carry. Him a weigh down on the party. So guess what? Is either gonna go down with him or gonna jump off of the boat with him. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
All right, so there it is, people. You know, unfortunately, we come to the end of our night with Pastor Ricky, right? Spitting some fire there, right? Solid input coming from Pastor Ricky. Now, we want to say, you know, big thanks. Yeah, we want to say big thanks for all the people who passed through and continue to support Mystic Sensation.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, we are going to be back up again Friday, and we go on from Friday, Tuesday, Friday. Those 2 days we'll be in the space, right? With Pastor Ricky, Brother Rattigan, right? Will be forwarding soon, right? And also, Brother Rattigan is not going to have a show tomorrow because he's not feeling well. Right, so I just want to highlight that. But you know, prayers reach out for him and make sure within next week's space he will be back in the space, right? And of course, we still burn the energy, right? So I want to say big up, right, to all the people who are working in the space, right? You don't know the thing said. Big up to the Wayne Lonesome, the Andre Stevenson, and Isabel Rose, and all other persons. But you know, to the fact that we have all these persons are working, and they are doing some serious work, right? I thought for the press a topic, right?
Andre Stevenson, beat them every day.
Talk your mind, and you understand. We have the ladies that we know, and Isabel Rose. We have
Antigen.
We have Mepitalk, right?
Yeah, my condolences, Sir Jeff. I'm sorry.
Big up Bolo, right? And all the people. Yes, I can't really remember them sometimes. You know, it's just, but we are all in the space, and they are all doing solid work.
Yeah.
Right. So bless up everybody. Right.
Sir Rattigan get ill. We're gonna say a prayer for you tonight.
Yeah, okay. And see Bolo there. Bolo, big up yourself. Right. And people remember, go over to Bolo, sub up to Bolo. Right. Jamaica Carlos, right. All of the persons who are working, bringing out the information. Right. Aromatic.
Big respect, Aromatic.
All of the persons who are working and know what good governance is about, right? Endorse, right? Support, right? Because when you support them, you give them the strength, you give them the energy, right? To move along, right?
Yeah, I want to big up to my TikTok friend them, Jay Bryant them and Howard them.
Yes.
Them a beat it hard on TikTok. Jamaics too.
Jamaics, Jay Bryant, because you know Jay Bryant continue to put it to them, you know.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Definitely.
Jay Bryant is a solid soldier out there as well. So big up yourself, Jay Bryant. And big up my brethren, ISAT. I mean, context matters. You have to put ISAT. You understand ISAT. Context matters. So people, for all the people, right? Kamala Right Mango, because that is the name.
Oh, yeah.
Kamala Right Mango, all those ladies, Anessa Bell Rose, and right, because ABR, she really works hard. She on it on a daily basis, right? She's hot off for the press. Anessa Bell Rose, hot off for the press. Kamala, you understand? These are ladies that out there and they are working so hard, doing their research and bringing the information. Without these ladies, I tell you something, you know, these ladies are very strong. So people don't stop from support their program. And make sure you're endorsing them, right? Love, you understand? We are saying one love to all and big up to every person in this space who is bringing the message. Love and respect. Pastor Ricky.
DJ Kevin Stew, big up yourself. Ratigan will love you, man. Big up yourself.
Yes, but you are, yes, big up Ratigan. All right, so my Jamaican people want to say.
We had said Andre Stevens.
Yeah, man, we big up Andre, man. Andre, look here.
Man. We big up Andre.
Without any doubt. Without any doubt, and I will say, you understand, Andre Stevenson is doing some solid work out there, right?
Yeah, man,
about that. You understand? Social media need Andre Stevenson. You understand? So there's no doubt. We can't doubt that. You understand? Andre Stevenson is one of the persons who dominate the space.
Yeah, man, a giant.
Cutting 8,000, 9,000 viewers. When you have that, you understand you have a wealth there. You understand that person had really done extremely well.
Program is built on credibility, and when people trust you, they will follow you. When people don't trust you, they will follow you.
Yes, and you know, so we are endorsing that. We are endorsing that. Andre Stevenson in the space, and we're glad for him to be in the space. You understand? He's working. It's a very powerful platform, and we appreciate that. So I want to say big up to all of the people who passed through. Right, we love you all, right? And remember, Lonesome, right? Support, right? Lonesome is a man who burn the fire, right? The foundation, the roots, right? That bring forth everything. So remember, we always support Lonesome, right? Because Lonesome, come on, right? I thought 6 days. You understand? Working very hard in the space. You understand? Remember that. You understand? Lonesome. You understand? General in the army. You know, so we have to understand that. And give him endorsement. You understand? Real solid work. Anytime Lonesome send out the eagle, you know some people dead. I like to tell Pastor Ricky.
Definitely. No, man.
Anytime Lonesome send out the eagle.
The eagle that beside them.
The thing is. Portland Spice. Big up yourself.
Oh, yeah. Colin Bell. Big up yourself. Yeah,
yes, big up yourself, Colin Bell. Anytime the Titan boss send out the eagle, you know. You understand? People tremble because they don't know what the eagle and land. You understand? Yeah. Some information when we see the eagle bring forward, you understand? Me myself is so impressed. Whoa. Yeah, you understand? Because Lonesome have the talent, have the
man in the wilderness.
You understand? Trust me. When the eagle fly, people dead. And that's how we leave it. Yes, so people, love you all. Blessed.
All right, Lady Andre, Sir Byron. Everyone in the chat have a blessed night. God bless you.
Bye-bye. All right.
Night.